For some reason, microphone was muted again. Anyway, with that being said, yo everybody, good to see you. Hope you're all having a good day. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator for Full-Size Moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, some types of live to de-rigging streams, and today is one of those drawing streams. Today, we're going to be working on one, maybe two drive emotes. We're going to try to figure it out. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoy your day. I hope you all enjoy your stay. And good to see you there. Happy Friday. Good to see you there, Ryu, Zerates, Hook, Suicidal. I was gonna say my own name. Iron Lung, and IV. How y'all be? Let's give a couple shout outs right quick. Folks, if you haven't checked out Hook, I highly recommend that you do. They play a good variety of games. It's a very funny time over there. And they also do 3D work. So if you want to see 3D work, that's good. Or yeah, if you ever wanted to know what 3D work was like, go check it out. And let's also give a shout out to Zerates. They also play the video games. They also do the stuffs. Go check them out. And last but not least, let's give a shout out to the Iron Lung. If you're a fan of the Pokemons, if you're just a fan of marathon streams, because they go on for hours. I don't know how they do it. It's a lack of sleep. But yeah, for the most part, they managed to pull that off with a lack of sleep. Go check them out when you get the chance. I highly recommend it. No shouting me out. What are you doing? Hey. But yeah, go check out all these amazing people. Really awesome stuff. Really awesome folks. But yeah, today we're going to be working on a drive emote because we got not one but two commissions to work on drives. So we got to draw a duck. We got to draw like a little green wizard. I don't think I ever asked what they were. I guess if they show up today, I'll ask them. The power of insomniacs. Indeed. The power of not so much not being able to sleep, but choosing not to sleep. That's a real power right there. And give me a second right quick. I completely forgot to, well, I completely forgot to, get one of their PNGs. I also can't find their name to save my life. There we go. Now I just gotta scroll through all of this till I find a PNG. Because it's gotta be around here somewhere. Did I ever have it pinned? Maybe I had it pinned. I did not have it pinned. Alright, let me keep on scrolling until I see that PNG right quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's around here somewhere. In the meantime, how's everybody's weekend been? I hope you all had... Or, yeah, wait. Not how everyone's weekend's been. What are your plans for the weekend? That's the one. What are your plans for this weekend? And don't worry about it if it doesn't sound eventful. Always remember, what's important is that you enjoy yourself. And that you didn't hurt nobody. Because, yeah. I always say this, and I'm never going to not stop saying this. Folks, don't worry about what the rest of the world tells you. Enjoy your weekend for how it is. Even if they tell you that, oh, you're wasting your time, you gotta go outside. You don't have to. Life is short. Live it how you want to live it. So if that means you want to go out there, go to a club, hang out at a party, hang out with friends for a very chill time, all that sort of stuff. Or if you just want to low life your entire day, like just playing Elden Ring for several hours until the sun comes up. No, that's not projection. I don't know what you're talking about. Then go out there and live your life the way you see fit. That's how you should do it. A green wizard duck. Yeah, a green wizard duck. Darkwing duck? No, not Darkwing duck. Which duck is a green wizard duck? I feel like there's a green wizard duck out there. Plans to finally get some sleep. Hey, there you go. That's what's up. Get those plans out there. You got this, I believe. Family. Weekend plans. Belated birthday barbecue with family. Hey, birthday barbecue. Tell them to make you all the burgers. Or whatever food it is you put on the grill. And welcome on in there, Sherbert. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out to the Sherbert. If you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend that you do. It's a very chill time over there. Very nice environment. They do the artants. They play the chill games. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was Slay the Spire last time, I believe. I think? Yeah, I think last time was Slay the Spire. Sunday's been a consistent workout day for me. Probably a chill weekend plan. You know what? That's a smart move. Go to the gym, get that exercise going. That's a solid plan right there. All right, so for the first step, what we got to do, let's get that PNG right quick. I forgot where I put it. Downloads. Okay, maybe not here. I got another idea then. Oh, I didn't save it there. Okay, new game plan. Open this in the browser. Save it there. Put that on the desktop. Wait, what do you mean it already exists? Did I already do it the first time? Hold on a minute. Let me go see if I can find that, Oh, it's all right here. Okay, so this is the first drawing that we got to work on. This is going to be the first one. This derpy little duck right here. Save? Good idea. Let's save. And welcome on in there, Karibo Lord. Let's also give a shout out to Karibo Lord. They just started getting into the streamings. Thank you for the shout out, lovely. Yeah, no problem. Let me see. Quack, quack. Oh wait, Quack was from, I was thinking, like, I saw the name Karibo Lord and I thought, Quack, which character on Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge said Quack? And then I remembered. That wasn't, Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, that was, Dragon Ball. I can imagine my model is just the head size with, I can imagine my model is just the head size with tentacles. Yeah, basically, I think if you ever went for a drive emote, it would just be this. Maybe move the head a little bit further up. Just put the head right there. Boom. And then you just take 2 more arms and then just... Yeah, you take 2 more sets of arms and you put them in the back. Boom. The whole thing's done. Alright, so now that we got our image of the duck, I'm actually going to take this image out of the way so I can see it better. Gonna shrink this for a bit. Alright, so for this one, it shouldn't take too much work. We just gotta add a duck bill. We gotta add a hat. We gotta add some feathers on the sides. And then we just gotta add like we gotta add some blue on the edges or like a very light purple. I'll figure it out when we get there. More Karibos? Why, what happened? Oh, Mothman. Oh, I didn't see the Mothman redeem. Hold on a second, let me catch up with some things. Hey, I think I know that duck. I know, right? What are the chances? That's some wild stuff right there. I wish I was cool as that duck. No, you don't. That duck ain't cool. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. How much is it to commission this? Okay, normally it's about... Honestly? Okay, so, Sherbert... Normally, this is about like a $30 emote. But, like I said, depending on the simplicity of the designs, sometimes it can go down. In your case, I think it would literally just be like a $20, maybe even $15 emote, because, like I said, all you gotta do is just add blue, add a face, add 2 more hands in the back, and then boom, that's basically it, it's done. And this is what, this is what I always like to tell people whenever it comes to the commissions. It's not always, okay, for most other, I don't know how other places work, but when it comes to commissions with me, there's a chance that it might go down. There's a chance it might go up. But the fact that there's a chance that the price might go down depending on the simplicity of the design, that's something to take into, that's something to take into account. Because even if it's a simple, if it's a really, really easy to design to work with, I wouldn't feel, I would feel unconscionable to, charge the normal price if it's like oh yeah, I could get this done. Like, I barely put any work into this. So, I mean, if that's going to be the case, then I, like I said, if it's a situation where it's almost little to no work to get it done, I'm going to charge less. Yo, Keep of the Raptor, thank you for the raid. As well as Not Evil. And Ikaros, thank you for the raids. Also, Ima, thank you for the raid as well. Holy cow, we got a lot of... That's a lot of raids. Hold on a minute. Let me catch up with all of this stuff. Also, Batman, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. We're gonna wait for all of this to run by, but everybody that stopped, or yeah, everybody who just raided right now. Hi, my name is Lamp, small-time illustrator, football-sized Moth. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams where we're gonna be drawing a couple of Drive Emote commissions. We got 2 of them. All we gotta do is just draw them, toss them into the model thingy, and let them drive. If you want to see what the Drive Emote looks like, you could check in the Emote section over there. Or you could put !vgen to see what the full drive animation would look like at the end of the day. But yeah, also, if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about writing and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to stick around, I greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. How was... Well, okay, so I know the first 3. I saw y'all playing Repo. How was the art there, Ima? I see that you were working on, like, maybe a centipede? I think it was a centipede. I know I saw a tail. That much I remember is that I saw a tail. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a good day. Hope you're all enjoying your weekend. Well, it's a Friday, so I hope you're all enjoying your Friday. You might lower the price, but we'll still haggle to give more. Yeah, I noticed that much. Good to see you there, Specific. We can't show that on-stream raid. What were y'all drawing that you can't show on stream? But yeah, good to see you there, Specific. Bird Limes, Xdes, Victa, Haribo, Ima, Not Evil, Leon Shafal, Ali Alloway. Did I insert myself into a multi-raid? You did, funny enough. You did. You popped up halfway, or yeah, you popped up at the last second. You're part of their raid group now. Enjoy. Yeah, you folks follow each other now. Right, we also need to give some shoutouts, because I did not do that part yet. We need to give some shoutouts. 1, folks. Let's do this in order. Go check out the Keep a Raptor. Thank you again for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you had fun with the repo. Let's also give a shout out to Ikaros. They were also part of the... How do I spell Ikaros? There we go. They were also part of the repo raid. Also, check out Not Evil. They did the... Yeah, go check out Not Evil. It's a very funny time over there. Really awesome people. They could be very chill. They can also be an absolute gremlin. Really awesome folks over there. Go check out Not Evil. They also play the Minecrafts. And also, go check out Ima, fastest artist in the whichever side of the world they're on. But yeah, fastest artist in the west, the east, the north, the south, whichever one. They draw like that, like nobody's business. They are also part of the repo group now, even though they popped out, even though they were doing a completely different stream. I'm counting them as repo now. But yeah, go check them all out. The first 3, really awesome people, really great games over there. The 4th one, really great artists, really chill times over there, really funny stuff. I highly recommend checking them out. Raid is love, raid is life, indeed. There was a tail, so I wasn't wrong, there was a tail. I just don't remember if it was a centipede tail or it was like a just regular like monster tail. Are there ever any regular monster tails? I feel like the Frieza tail from Dragon Ball is like a regular monster tail. And then you have everything else. Also, welcome on in there, Flu. How you be? Xdes was playing Amnesia Dark Descendant. Ah, fair. Let's also give a shout out to 2 more folks. Xdes. Folks, earn those points at Xdes's stream so we could get that scrunkle going. Yes, I did it. And also go check out Official Flu. Really awesome folks over there. All right, let's see. Which features Old Man Pepsi or Pepto-Bismol? Which ones are we talking about? All right. Xtez played Amnesia on my stream, and yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, we can't show that on stream. Oh, gotcha. Understandable. Can't show Amnesia on stream. I think I get it. It's okay. We were playing Repo with them. They were not aware. Yeah, see, there you go. It was a little game of Among Us. Or something along those lines. Also, Keep It the Raptor, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth Fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're a Lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. We were the monsters? Ah, so you were the giant head that was killing everybody. That's fair. You get nothing. You loot. No, wait, let me try this again. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. There we go. Did I miss the Mothman redeem? Oh, thank you for reminding me. I forgot to put that. Hold on a second, folks. We need to add a Mothman to the stream. Mothman. There's no need to feel down. I said Mothman. Lift that man off the ground. I said Mothman. 'Cause you're in a new town and there's folks to be abducted. Thank you for redeeming Mothman. Which, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen the Mothman, I'm apologize. We're gonna do some shameless shilling. If you see this Mothman right here, it is available on the Etsy page for a very affordable price. I think it's only like 10 bucks. And it comes with a lot of different features. You got regular Mothman wings. Classic Mothman with the bird wings. We also got Mothman with the bat wings. I remember seeing this depiction somewhere. I don't remember where exactly, but I remember seeing this depiction. And if there's a day where you can't pick between 1, 2, or 3, and you just, you can't decide, why decide? Be not afraid. You can have them all at once. Also, comes with wing flapping. You can also drop the wings if you feel so inclined. And last but not least, as you saw before, it also has a lean effect. It was the only time I ever saw a reason to put a lean on a model, and it was Mothman. So anyway, yeah, pick up your very own Mothman today. No pressure, though. But yeah, you can find this on the Etsy page by putting !ETSY. Yeah, ETSY. There you go. Anyway, so let's get back to the drawing. Whew. That was a lot to catch up with. That was a whole lot there today. I was not ready for everything. Wait, okay, let me catch up with some of the other reading while we get ready on the drawing. I don't know why they bothered copying Donald Duck, though. Wait, who copied Donald Duck? Don't give Konami ideas for another Kuribo. Curry Duck. They should make a Curry Duck. I mean, why not? Adding note to get this on the morning. Alright, sounds good, sounds good. Kuribo with gun. Curry bang. We need a Kuribo with a gun out there. Why have we not done that? We need a Kuribo with guns. You can't tell me otherwise. Alright, let's get started on the drawing, because it's been like about 20 minutes. So it's finally time. Alright, let's start with first we're going to just sketch everything out. Let's start at the very top. New layer. This is going to be our sketch layer for now, before we start adding all of the pieces. So one, let's start with hat. We're going to make this a very round hat. Start with some squares at the top, or start with some angles up here. Right here should be good. Well, actually, let's make the hat go a little bit further back, because if it fit perfectly on the spot, that would be a very unusual hat to... I don't know, if it fit perfectly on the spot, then that would just feel like, you know, the hat just meshed in with the rest of the skin or feathers, so we can't have that. I know it's a simple design, and we're not supposed to go into all that detail, but it's just one of those things where, I don't know, it's just one of those things that's stuck in my head. I'm gonna put the back at the... Well, let's try this proper. Well, not so much proper, but we're gonna put our own style on that hat brim. There we go, close enough. This should be good. Also, Odd Aussie Gamer, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Let's give a shout out. And thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. Almost dropped my pen there. I keep forgetting that those are glasses. Every time I see this design, I think that's a necktie. I'm never gonna not think that's a necktie. Every time I'm gonna see that and think, okay, so we gotta add the hat, we gotta add the duck bill, we gotta add the tie. And then I find out later, like, oh, Lampy, again, those are glasses. Oh, for those of you that are not, for wondering what I'm talking about, because I just zoomed in on it and realized, wait, y'all can't even see what I'm talking about. This part right here. That one section, I swear to God, every time I see it, I think, all right, let's draw the hat, let's draw the duck bill, let's draw the feathers on the sides, let's draw the necktie. Why would a duck wear a tie? Why would a duck wear a hat? Your move. Your move, Magic Duck. All right, let's get back to the rest of the drawing. Let's figure this out. There we go. There's the hat. Thank you for the shout out. You didn't have to do that. I know I don't. Still, I want to do it anyway. I believe everybody deserves a shout out. All right, now let's take this bird. We're going to shrink it down. Then we're going to close up that window a little bit so I could actually see what I'm doing here. Yes, everyone. Shout out Lampy Mo. Hey, no shouting me out. Okay, almost everyone deserves a shout out. I don't want one. I don't want one, I don't deserve one. There you go. Problem solved. Alright, so we got that part of the hat. Oh, right, this thing needs to go up a little bit to show this brim. That should be good. We also got a hat and this brim, this duck bill. You want to know what's funny about a duck bill? I may or may not have experience with drawing duck bills, mostly because there was a character that I used to draw that had a hat, like it was a baseball cap. And whenever I had to draw that baseball cap, the only thing I thought was, baseball caps look a lot like duck bills. I could definitely see this. So whenever I had to draw a duck bill, the first thing that came to mind was, okay, draw a duck bill. I've done this before. I just gotta draw a baseball hat brim, and then boom, we're good. Just draw a baseball hat brim, and then just add some holes at the top of that brim. Done. Which is ironic, because drawing a backwards baseball hat is apparently a lot more difficult. But we're getting there. We got something going on here. We might also bring this hat down just a bit. Bring this down just a little bit more. Not by too much. I just want it to be brought down just a little bit so I could add this little part right here. Boom. Also, for those of you wondering, do not worry about the sketches. Or yeah, I always like to say, when working on the sketch, do not worry about what it looks like. Just, the sketch is only there to get the idea in mind. Once you have the idea in mind, that's when you could clean everything up. Just draw whatever you like. Or draw however you, however it works. Then, you know, clean it up later. For example, this part is definitely going down later. There's a lot of different features here that I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, no, this has got to go. Also, let's put a gray so it's easier to see, easier on the eyes. Because not gonna lie, that was actually They're difficult to look at. Let's also put duck mouth here, so we could actually see that duck smile. Boom. You know what? I think we could do better than that. That's too late. We kind of already lost that part of the history, but there we go. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can make this smile a little bit bigger. By just bringing up the lines a little bit higher, erase the line that used to be there. Also, when working on that part, a good idea is to leave the original line so you know where the mistake is and you can get rid of it. Or yeah, you know where the mistake is, and so you don't repeat history and all that. And once you got the shape exactly how you want it, that's when you erase the older line. And boom, there you go. Why am I focusing on those little parts? I gotta leave it alone. Back to the shapes. Alright, so now that we got that part, I'm actually gonna put a little bit of a line right here, or a bit of a shape to give it a circular shape at the end of or at the bottom. Okay, let me explain that one. We're gonna add a half circle, or a line to make it a half circle. Because this bottom part, those bottom parts of those hands, they're gonna be purple, because that's what the design of the duck shows, is that at the ends they have a purple tint. Also, Leo Lovin. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're a lampy now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. And I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I hope you're enjoying all the fun stuff and such. And we're just going to add some ducktails in the back here. Boom. Easy. Lampy colt? No colt. Y'all cease this nonsense. No colt. Alright, so that should be good right there. Now we just gotta add the duck, the duck features on the other end. So 1, 2, 3. Kind of. It's okay. I'll figure that part out later. Anyway. Last part is that we gotta add the coat. And that should be all good. That is close enough to a coat. Luckily, we don't have to actually add sleeves because there are none. Boom. And we're good. We're done. DuckTales. DuckTales was an amazing game on the NES. DuckTales was on the game? Or yeah, there was a game of... Okay, actually, I'm not surprised that DuckTales had a game. I also forgot to hydrate for the last one. Also, Odd Aussie Gamer, thank you for the hydrate and the stretch. And Leo, thank you for the hydrate. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and XTS, thank you for the hydrate, or the stretch. I greatly appreciate that. I realized I missed so many redeems because of the... Honestly, yeah, you know what? Funny enough, that actually was a legitimate raid, because that was like multiple people from multiple people from multiple directions. That was definitely a raid if I ever done seen one. But yeah. So now that we got the sketching done for that, we can actually get started on, fixing up these lines. And luckily, since this is also going to be a whatchamacallit, what's the word I'm looking for? Since this is going to be a, an animated drawing, we don't actually have to do too much work. We don't actually have to make so many layers. This one can actually be real simple. Like, for example, The coat and the shirt, one layer on its own. The tail back there, one layer on its own. I mean, heck, the duck bill, yeah, the duck bill, or everything on the head could be all its own one layer. If this were a live 2D model, on the other hand, all of these things would need to be separate parts, separate pieces. Like the front of the hat, the back of the hat, those would need to be separate parts. The tuft of the hair up here would have to be a separate part. These two parts of the face would have to be a separate part. The front and back of the duck bill, maybe even the top of the duck bill would be 3 separate parts, depending on the model. I know that's what I had to do with the bird. In order to make the bird's beak move the way it did, I needed to turn that into like 2 different layers, 3 different layers, and the mouth talking, so that was like 4 different layers all on its own. But yeah, for this situation, all the features on the head are all its own one singular layer. We don't need to worry about too much there. Also, slow flutter. Thank you for redeeming slow flutter. Also, no wait, Lampy does have the pen. Alright, let's get started on things. Let's reduce the opacity to all of these features, bring them down, and we're going to need to make a new layer. We're going to call this one duckbill, or ducktail. Duck tails. Ooh. Anyway, let's increase the size of the brush. And now we're going to start working on smaller features here. 1 tail. 2 tail. 3 tail. And 4. Well, technically only 3 parts of the tail. And this, well, actually we do need to clean up this part a little bit, so let's hide the hands and the body for a minute. What I want to do is smoothen out the edges on that tail. Even if this part is on the inside, there's a slight chance that we might see this end of the tail. And since that might potentially be a case, we want to make sure that we cannot show, or that, you know, that you cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? Because that is a potential case that you might see this end of the tail, we need to treat it as if you actually will see this end of the tail, even if it's a slight chance. And that's also another thing to remember about Live 2D. When you're working on Live 2D, if you're working on layers, remember that the model will move. And though you're drawing something and maybe thinking, it'll be fine, this part won't be seen, there's a chance it might be. You never know. So, draw it as if there is a potential that that part will be noticed. Like, let's say, for example, let me try to think of a good example. Oh, I know. Let's say you're working with a character that has hair. Obviously. For the most part. But yeah, let's say you're working on a model that has hair. And you might be thinking, okay, since the hair is around the sides of the face, since there's a lot of hair around the sides of the face, like, you know, large hair, you don't need to worry about ears. That's fine. You don't need to worry about ears. No one's gonna see ears anyway. I learned from example that the ears will pop up. But if there's no ears, it will be noticeable. How do I know? I may or may not have worked on the 2.0 for the bird and thought, I worked on the 2.0 for the bird, realized I didn't add ears. And I thought to myself, for the most part, it'll be fine. There's a lot of hair. That'll hide that, right? Physics is a thing. And when that physics goes off, and it starts to move the hair all over the place, you will see the side of the head, and you will notice that there are no ears. Obviously, I fixed that, but during the process, I learned, oh yeah, no, you could definitely tell that they don't have ears. Yeah. I need to go fix that. So yeah, there you go. Ready yourself for that part. Anyway, we gotta add a Karibo to the screen. And folks, if you like this Karibo on the screen, guess what? It is available on the Coffee page, absolutely free, no charge at all. You can find this and many other models at a very, very affordable price. And if it does charge you actually not even an affordable price, I mean absolutely free. You could take this and anything else, and it won't charge you a dime, a cent, a nickel, whatever. And if it does charge you, you let me know, and I'll move it somewhere that doesn't charge. Also, check it out. If you thought, Karibo's nice and all, but I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, so is it possible to get a wing Karibo? Maybe. And for those of you that are big new Yu-Gi-Oh! Nerds, yes, Karibo does have a mouth. Anyway. So yeah, pick up a Karibo of your very own today. Let's also move these models a little bit more. Move Mothman right there. Move Karibo a little bit further down here. There we go, perfect. Karibo gonna bite you? Yeah, that's what that 300 damage is all about. Alright, let's see. Hypothetically speaking, if I were to get a model commission, will it be a difficult task? Considering your model design? No, not really. I think it would actually be fairly easy. I think it would even fit in the... I think it would actually be categorized as a mascot model. And if you're thinking mascot model, that's a little demeaning. Not really. Lampy's a mascot model. Or technically, categorically, if you look at Lampy, Lampy would technically be a mascot model. Even if this is my main model. And the main brand. Under normal circumstances, Lampy's a mascot model. And I don't regret not putting a mouth. Because honestly, could you imagine having to rig a mouth every single time? This is why I like making... You can already tell, you can already notice. This is why I like making models that don't have mouths. Karibo, Lampy, Mothman. If I could avoid rigging a mouth, I will do so every single chance I get. I will avoid it like the plague. Granted, it doesn't mean that I won't. As you can clearly see when I worked on the shark and the cat and the plushies, you can see that they all have mouths. But if I ever get the chance to dodge rigging a mouth, I'm gonna take it. Like if someone says like, okay, so I have a really difficult task here. I got a really difficult model. Can you help me out with that one? How difficult is this one gonna be? Like, let me hear all the details. Okay, so there's this model. It's a cyborg. All right, understandable. It's got mecha details. Mech, you say? Does that mean... Yeah, it doesn't have a mouth. Done. Like, are you sure? But what about all the angles? It doesn't have a mouth. That's all I need to hear. Wait, if it's a mech, that means it doesn't blink, right? Yeah, no, there's no blinking. No eye rigging either. Easy. It's not going to be easy, but I'd rather prefer it. So long as I don't have to draw the mech. Granted, going back to it though, granted, even if someone told me like, yeah, can you draw a mech? Like, I can try. I'm not going to enjoy myself, but I can try. I will do my best. Alright, so we can put that part back. Now that we got the details for that ducktail, now we need to make a new part. We need to... Oh, right, let's put the ducktail layer in the back. New layer, we're going to call this one coat. Or jacket. Jacket. Boom, there we go. Alright, let me try to catch up with things. Do you believe Mothman exists IRL? I believe Mothman may have been a Stygian owl. If you haven't heard of a Stygian owl, I highly recommend looking it up, because there were, when people talked about Mothman, they talked about sightings of something with gigantic wings, glowing red eyes, and two little nubs that pop up at the top of their head that makes it look like a Mothman. If you look up the Stygian owl, you will see why. And plus, some of the original depictions of Mothman involved it having bird-like wings for some strange reason. Despite the fact that they called it Mothman, it had bird-like wings. So basically it looked, or yeah, whenever they described, or yeah, a lot of descriptions of Mothman was a description of this, not the bug, or yeah, not the bug man that you see here, But whenever they described Mothman, a lot of the details depicted something like this. And if you look at the Stygian owl, it looks a lot like this in the middle of the night. Big wings, those weird little nubs at the top, glowing red eyes. That's a Stygian owl. Or at least that is my belief. That is what I believe Mothman was. But yeah, long story short, going back to it, yeah, Ryu, I think your model would be possible. I think it would be possible, and I don't think it would be too much work. Alright, I suddenly want a Karibo hanging out on my model's head. Well, that's what the coffee page is for. Get that Karibo, put it on your model's head, boom, now you got them both. My model was a mascot model, I believe. Technically, yeah, it was a mascot model. I've done so many mech and power armor drawings. Wait, you've done mech and power armor? I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that sort of work yet. I wouldn't mind seeing that work. That actually sounds pretty cool. Alright, let me see. What is the next step? Although I will say, since, what's it called? Since, what's the word I'm looking for? Let me rethink my thoughts. Since mechs have a lot of angles, I do feel like it would be a possibility that making a mech live 2D model would be difficult. It's doable, but difficult. That much cannot be denied, is that it would be difficult, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Let's see. No, not demanding at all. I like to be small and marketable. Then yeah, it would be I will definitely say, small and marketable are some of the easiest models to make, as well as some of the most fun. Well, I guess it depends on the person. Depending on the person, maybe it's below, or not so much below them, but for some people, it might be too simple. Like, it doesn't rack the brain. For others, like myself, some people like simplicity, some people like complexity. It all depends on the person. Like I said, for some, it might be too easy. And so it may not get the juices flowing. So they might want I'm pretty sure that's the folks that decide, you know what I should try to do? I should try to make, like, I'm pretty sure the first person to make a walking animation may have been that kind of person where it's like, let me try to make the most complex thing imaginable. Let me get the brain juices flowing. And then you have someone like me, like, hey, shark. That's about it. Although, to be fair, I can't also deny that, you know, I like the simplicity, but sometimes your brain just takes you in different directions and decides, you know what? Let's add angles to a microphone. Let's add flamethrower to a robot. Let's give a moth a gun. And all sorts of different things. So maybe it's not even so much that it's just like, oh yeah, no, I need the brain. Well, maybe it is still just the brain juice flowing, but who knows? Maybe it's just one of those cases where it's like, I want something simple, but my brain won't let me. I just want to make something real easy, real quick, and then my brain is like, I mean, you could go with that. Or you could have wings that open and close on a live 2D humanoid. And I'm just sitting there like, why, brain? Why are you going to do that? Which, by the way, I'm only using examples that I've already shown because I can already tell you, well, I've already mentioned this multiple times, that the last model that I made, or the last personal model that I made, It was not supposed to be as complicated as it was. It's supposed to be a simple model. It's supposed to be a regular thing. And then I decided to add so many features, which we will find out next month. I have decided next month is when the reveal is going to happen. I don't know when next month, but I'm thinking probably late to mid next month. Late to mid-May. Somebody make sure it happens. Because I need to remember, late to mid-May is when the bird needs to make its reveal and the boss fight needs to begin. I need to make sure on that. Lampster? Yo, Blobby. Oh, I didn't know you also watched Fasani. Folks, go check out Blobby. I highly recommend it. Really awesome streams over there. Really chill times. Also, we're gonna be making a plushie model and a drive model for a Blobby Derp. And it's gonna have some very special animations for their live TD model. So if you want to check it out, I highly recommend that you do. Go check them out for the content. Or, you know what? Tell you what. Stop by for the new model. Stay for the content. As if you like streams that you can have on in the background, well, you know, just some chill streams to help you relax while you're working on things in the background or after a long day. That's a good place to go. It's a very chill time. And if you're a fan of Voices of the Void, that's a good place too. Or Monster Hunter. There we go. Okay, so we got the coat. Lampy, remember mid to late next month to do a reveal. Thank you. I was hoping for a little later, though. But thank you for the reminder. Okay, I just think on second monitor material. I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds like an insult. I could be wrong, though, but I don't know. Hearing like second. Okay, to be fair, I don't know. Me personally, whenever I hear anything like, yeah, number 2, it's like, oh, it's a good thing? Oh, okay, fair. Okay, then it's just me. It's just my brain not working properly. Because when I hear that, I'm like, whenever I hear second anything, it's like, come on, you shouldn't think of yourself as number 2. You gotta think of yourself as number 1. Or at least number 1100, or number 111. Or number 1111. Or number, you know, you get the point. You get the point. So long as there's a number or a number 1 at the front and a number 1 at the back, that's what you should be looking at. Maybe even number 1001. Like a pair of glasses. Wait, actually, let me see. Yeah, that looks like glasses. Yeah, you know what? You want to look at yourself like a pair of glasses. Be number 1001. That's the number I need to strive for. I shouldn't be striving for the top 100, the top 500. No. Well, yeah, one of the top 500. I need to be... Actually, no, not even top 500. I need to be number 1001 or number 10. Why number 10? Because number 10 is a monocle. Yeah, see, there you go, monocle. So those are the numbers y'all... Or, okay, I don't know what numbers y'all should be striving for, but those are the numbers I'm striving for. Either 1001 or 10. Why? Because glasses. And I think it's funny. But yeah, let me see. The pen is greater than the sword. That's why they call it a Sharpie. Why did I read that? Why did I read the pun? But it does sound bad, because second, yeah, that's fair. But so long as context-wise it's a good thing, that's all that matters. Like I said, that's just me, thinking too small. I shouldn't be thinking the size of a moth, I should be thinking the size of a football. Need to think big. Or something, I don't know. 1001 looks like a Lampy eye banner. See, that means even more reason for me to try to strive to be the 1001 streamer or something. I just need to be ranked 1001 somewhere in my life. Why? Because it would be funny. And hearing that it kind of looks like Lampy's eyes, that makes it even more reason to do so, because now it would be on brand. Like, Lampy, you had such a great, you had such a great run. You had such potential in whatever tournament you were going through. Why did you quit? Because I made it to 1001. What? Yeah. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the tourney. That's how I'm gonna aim for it. Like, what rank am I? Like, okay, how do I bump it down a bit? I think you gotta lose a couple of times. All right, how many is a couple? 2? Good enough for me. All right, let's go get some losses. Like, aren't you trying to aim for gold? No, I'm trying to aim for glasses. See, that's how you win things, folks. Confuse the opponent. Never let them think, never let them know your next step. They think you're gonna go for number 1. What they don't realize is you're trying to get 2 number 1s. And even when they find out that you're trying to get 2 number 1s, they're thinking you're going for number 11. When in all actuality, nah, you're thinking of a bigger number than that. You know what? That's what I should strive for in, if by any strange chance y'all folks even reach that crazy goal down there, and I have to play Marvel Rivals and enter a tournament, I'm going to try to aim for 1001. That is going to be my number 1 goal. I'm not even going to tell the rest of the team. I'm just going to try to get number 1000 rank. I mean, I guess I could also try to do that in rank. Tell you what, folks. We reach that goal in the next 3 months, I'll enter a tournament, I'll play Marvel Rivals, and I will try to be ranked 1001. Or 10. Whichever goal comes first. Alright, let me see. Let me see. Let me try to catch up with things. Such a whole horse mentality. Don't be number 1. Well, I was also gonna say whole horse mentality and Yoshikage Kira. If you're number 1, people know who you are. Now you're on everybody's radar. You don't want to be on everybody's radar. Number 1001? No one's gonna care about number 1001. Which means you could kill all the people that you like. I mean... By the way, Twitch, this is a joke. For those of you who don't know, there's a character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that they are a serial killer, and the way they get away with all of their monstrous acts is that they try to live the most normal life imaginable, so no one ever suspects them. So they work a 9-to-5 job at an office. They stay to themselves. They work a very, very busy day, work a very, very busy schedule. They never show up late. They do their work all the time. They got 3rd place in all of, 3rd or 2nd place in all of their, in every competition. Even if they could win the gold, they made sure that they're unnoticeable. So they got 3rd place every time. And this is how they got away with all of their murders, is that they were unnoticed. They were so average that nobody put an eye on them. Until the series popped up, and then that's when you realize, oh yeah, no, this person's a psychopath. Time to take them down. And so yeah, there you go. That is how you do it. Or at least that's what the cartoons tell me. Well, anyway, in all seriousness though, Twitch, this is a joke. We do not condone serial killing, nor do I think anybody does. But yeah, there you go. In case Twitch takes this seriously and says, Lampy's condoning violence, this is a joke. A bad joke, but a joke nonetheless. Alright, there we go. A P is also a monocle. True, a P is also a monocle. Alright, let me see. Speaking of monocle, you need to shill your coffee more. I thought I did. That's what Karibo's up there for. But yeah, you're right. I honestly, I feel like... Okay, honestly, also, ad start in a minute. Because I don't put since I haven't put a lot on my coffee page as much, since I kind of neglected it a bit, last time I ever put something there was the shark. I felt like, you know, I didn't feel like it was, not so much that it wasn't worth, but more so it felt weird to promote a page that I hadn't put anything on for a while unless I put something there. Like, again, I swear my friend calls at the worst times. Every time, I swear to God, it's always at 8. Oh, it's 9. Okay, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's just on me. The new update is cool. I played with the boys till my hand started cramping last night. Wait, which game? Oh, let's see. Speaking of Marvel Rivals, we just entered Season 2 as a new character. They are adding... Oh, the new characters they are adding are Emma Frost and Ultron. Wait, I thought they already had Emma Frost. If that wasn't Emma Frost, then who's the lady with the... Who's the lady with the blonde hair, the white suit? The one that has the cloak and dagger dude with her? Who is that character then? I thought that was Emma Frost. Susan Storm or Cloak? I think it's Cloak. I thought that one was Emma Frost. Was that not Emma Frost? Yes, it's very confusing. There are 3 blondes now. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, yeah, that's yeah, see, that's what I mean, like that. Okay, honestly, this is the first time I now learned this because I thought, okay, I think I recognize these characters. I recognize that one. I recognize Venom. I recognize who else was there? I recognize Squirrel Girl, which I am very surprised that I think there was either a comic or a cartoon where she beat the Juggernaut. The freaking Juggernaut. Okay, actually, I was gonna say, when are we getting Juggernaut? And then I thought about it. Juggernaut's just the Hulk. Okay, not entirely just the Hulk, but let's be honest. Juggernaut's just, you know, just big brute. And we already have the Hulk. So, how do you add big brute if you already have the Hulk? I could be wrong. Maybe there's another way you could add him. Maybe he could be like Winston. Or is Hulk the Winston of Marvel Rivals? I honestly don't know. Y'all let me know, folks. Is Winston the Hulk of Marvel Rivals? Alright, let's see. You gotta be specific. They're adding... Alright, they've been adding a lot of blonde white... Oh, fair. Wait. How many did they... Yeah. How many blonde women did they add in the game? She also beats Thanos. And wouldn't shut up about it in-game. Oh. So it's one of the... Okay, so it's like one of those sound voices things. That's an unfortunate circumstance. Like, it's a funny... Okay. I will also say this is why I think Dragon Ball Abridged put it best when they said power levels are bull. I'm paraphrasing the quote, but yeah, basically they did say power levels were bull, and that was one of the main reasons why, because in Marvel, anyone could beat anyone. It doesn't matter how powerful a character is, they can lose to almost anything. Lose to almost anyone. And this is one of those many cases. You got the powerhouse of Thanos losing to Squirrel Girl of all people. And that's not the first time Thanos has lost to somebody that, you know, should not have been in that same power scale. It happens a lot. And to be fair, this also ain't even a Marvel thing. This is just a comic book thing in general. If you have enough storylines, if you have a character or a series that has ran on long enough, eventually they're gonna get beat by everybody. Without fail. Even if there should be no discernible reason how they should have lost. They're gonna lose to everybody. Eventually. Because that's what happens when you kind of run out of ideas, or not so much run out of ideas, but when you have a story that's been going on for so long and a series of characters that have been going on for God knows how, you're eventually going to have to come up with a new story. And you're like, what if this character had to fight that one? Nah, they already did that like 15 years ago. Okay, what about that character? Nope. Or yeah, 06? Let me see. This character versus that character? 13. What about Carnage versus the Sentry? Already happened. Ripped him in half and threw him in space. And then, you know, the list goes on. It's the same thing with the Venom symbiote. Or just symbiotes in general. Like, who did we not give a symbiote to yet? Let me see. Oh, you know what would be crazy? Wolverine, and it already happened. Oh. Hulk and the symbiote already happened. Spider-Man, come on, dude. That's the first one. Captain America? Yeah, I believe that already happened. Ah, for crying out loud. Iron Man, yeah, already happened. If I'm correct, I think he made a symbiote suit. So yeah, that's basically comic books for you. All right, let me catch up with a lot of the reading. Okay, I see. Winston is the MCU endgame. Oh, let's see. Winston is the MCU endgame Smart Hulk. Okay, fair. But which one is Winston in Marvel Rivals? That's my question. Did an art dump of mech power armor in your art channel, Lampy? Alright, I'm gonna have to go check that out real quick. At the end of the reading so far, give me one moment. At the end of the day, you're fighting the writers. Basically. This is also why I forgot who said it. It might have been Stan Lee. But I remember there was this one line. Who wins in a fight? Like the age-old question of which character beats which character in a fight. And there was a definitive answer that is still true to this day. It's the boring one, and it's the one that nobody wants to hear because it's like, come on, that's lazy. And the answer is whoever's writing it. If you have someone who hates Superman, then Superman's gonna be weak. Anyone can beat Superman because this person don't like it. If they are an absolute fan, an absolute devotee to Superman, you better believe they're making him overpowered. They're making him unstoppable. And if you have a case where they're a big Batman fan, you already know Superman's losing that fight. Or if they're paid to make a story like, all right, I need you to make a story right quick. Superman versus Batman. Batman needs to win this one, by the way. All right, good luck with that. How is Batman supposed to... Can I use a green rock? Nope. Well, now you just wrote me into a corner. That's why I'm glad I'm not a writer. Imagine have to write that sort of story. Like, all right, you gotta get someone to beat Superman. And you can't use a green rock. Can this be a crossover? No Marvel. Oh, there goes the Sentry plan. That's when you bring out a magician. One, a magician because magic or Superman is weak to magic. And two, because you're going to need to pull a rabbit out of your hat to pull off this story. And make it likable. Because one, you got to make it believable. Two, you got to make it enjoyable. And three, well, yeah, that's actually the only two you really need. You need to make it believable. and you need to make it enjoyable. Oh, and I'm pretty sure, last but not least, like, if you really want to add a challenge to yourself, it can't be an evil Batman. Okay, let me see. I thought those glasses were a tie at first. Or an untilted bow. I told you, Ryu. I knew it. I wasn't the only one. Okay, so I've had this talk with Ryu before, because while I was working on things, they tell me, like, halfway through a project, they're like, Lampy, that's not a bow tie, or that's not a necktie, by the way. Like, what? Yeah, those are sunglasses. I look closer, like, I look closer to the image. Oh, so they are sunglasses. What are the chances? And you saying that, I'm like, I knew it. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't the only one who thought they looked like glasses. Or like a necktie. I knew I wasn't completely insane. That's good to know. That's good to know. Alright, we could drop the wings now for a minute. Alright, let's see. At the end of the day, you're fighting... Oh yeah, so I saw that part. To be fair, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl is a gag character. True, true, true. And I also blame, what's it called? I blame Dragon Ball Super for making that a more common term. Because now that's just the lazier excuse for everything else. Like, well, of course this character beats that character. They're a gag character. Like, can we throw that out the window now? Can we throw that out the window? I know it's true and all, but can we throw that out the window now? I want to throw it out the window. There are no Winston rival parallels. Really? Give it a minute. We'll get one eventually. Maybe. I don't know. I did a Superman... Oh, let's see. I did a Superman alternate universe short story for a writing prompt not too long ago. Oh, yeah, I didn't know you did... Wait. I think I remember you mentioning you did writing before. I think I remember that. True, kind of like how they flanderized Captain America in the X-Men comics as as opposed to his actual character. Wait, how did they flanderize Captain America? What did they do there? Yeah, what did they do to him in the X-Men series? Oh, wait, flanderize. Okay, so I'm assuming they did something like how they turned him into kind of like a Ned Flanders type of character, didn't they? I'm worried. What did they do to Captain America? Also, Dottie, thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. How you be? I hope things are going well. I hope things are good. I hope things are funny. I see you acclimated more animated friends. Very cute. Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, two of these other models, they have been some of the oldest models I had ever made. The bird, yeah, the bird was definitely an old model. I think it was like 20. It was either late or mid 2022 or early 2023. I want to say it was early 2023, maybe? Yeah, I want to say 2023 that this bird was made. As for the Karibo, I'll be honest, I forgot when the Karibo was made. Okay, I gotta go to bed now. Have a lovely stream, Lampy. All right there, Sherbert. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. You go get that rest. You go get that sleep. And I hope you have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great week. And I almost forgot, before I forget, let me go check out that thing that you mentioned. Let me go see the artworks and stuff. Let me go see them mechs. Oh, that's some pretty high detail for those mechs. I really like the green one. But yeah, I'm also looking at the one with the propellers and all of that. That is a lot of detail on that mech. That is a lot of details on that suit. What was your first animated model? Very first animated model would be this one right here. Not that one. This one right here. This one was the very first live 2D model. And as I always like to say, I went for this because I wanted to go with simplicity, understand the programming a little better, understand if I actually wanted to go with this at the end of the day. And yeah, I want to say, yeah, after working with this one, it was pretty fun, it was pretty cool. And obviously it developed into something bigger. And so yeah, there you go. I don't know what it is about. I don't know what it is about like 2D rigging, but it's definitely a lot of fun. It's frustrating and complicated sometimes, but I don't know. There's just the satisfying feeling of seeing seeing the final piece just come into play, seeing it in action. You know, like for example, wings. Wings can sometimes be a pain, but when you see them do what they do, it's definitely well worth it. Alright, normal Cap. Fights for everyone and isn't tied down. Calm and sees everyone equally. X-Men Captain America. Follows orders. Doesn't want to assist mutants. Easily hostile. Okay, yeah, that's not Captain America. That's not the big boy in blue. That's like what they, that's like the... Okay, funny enough, I see exactly what you mean. That's what they did to Superman in the Batman Returns cartoon. Or, comic. Or Return of the Batman. Whichever one it was, where they're a lot older, and Superman's just basically a tool for the US government. That's basically what it sounds like they did to Captain America in that one. They just turned him into a tool. I mean, granted, Captain America had a lot of superpowers from, all of that, from all of that military stuff, but, he knew when and when not to use it, and it wasn't so much when someone tells him this is a direct order, do the thing. I mean, under most circumstances, that is the case until, something just isn't. What's the difference between Craft Lampy and Plushy Lampy? That's a good question. Okay, so Craft Lampy would be this one, where it is just a plushie mode of the live 2D. Yeah, just a plushie mode of the regular Lampy model. So it's still regular live 2D model stuff, where the Craft one, let me get the Craft one right quick. Where Craft Lampy is, as crazy as it sounds, made out of actual material. So those are the two major differences, is that Plushy Lampy is just digitally drawn to look like a plushie, where Craft Lampy is made out of actual crafting materials and then rigged to, move. Now, which button was it? I think it was that one. There we are. Look at him go. It even comes with its own gun. Check it out. That's my favorite part. Out of any model, or yeah, out of every model, my favorite part is when Lampy has a gun. Bar none. But yeah, so that is the difference between Craft and Plushie. I hope you enjoyed. Let's see. I totally get it. Oh, let's see. I totally get it. You're still very cute as your first one. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. A lot of people call that one the creepy one. Thank you for redeeming plush. Which, by the way, folks, if you wanted to know what a custom plushie model would look like, just look at the bird up top up there. That is what a custom plushie model will look like. Which also reminds me, Blobby. I was actually working on yours a little while ago, and I need to show you some details right quick. Wait. Also, give me 1 second there. Sunderstorm. Thank you for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. Let's give you a shout out. What were you up to? Let's find out. We put a number 7. There we go. And everybody stopping by from Sunderstorm stream. Give me 1 second there. There we go. Hi, my name is Lampy, small-time illustrator, football-sized Moth. Yes, the bug is the streamer. I do a lot of drawing streams, occasional gaming streams, and sometimes some live 2D rigging streams. And today is one of those drawing streams. Today, we're currently working on a drive emote for a Ryu Elf, and we're also working on... This is going to be the first drive emote we're working on. The second one is going to be for a Blobby Derp. Speaking of which, I forgot to mention. So, I wanted to show some of the details that I got going on so far, and I wanted to ask about the, the face here. Did you want this to be in all shadow? Like, yeah, did you want this to be in all shadow, kind of like how you see with Mothman over there? Or did you want it to have a little bit of plushy detail like you see on the like the regular... Actually, you know what? Let me show you what I mean right now. Okay, so here's the idea I'm thinking of. So we got 2 different routes that can be taken with this. Route number 1 is shrouded in all shadow. Route number 2 is kind of make it look like, it's a plushy fabric that's supposed to look like it's shrouded in shadow. So we either got choice number 1 choice number 1 or choice number 2. It is entirely up to you. No need for it to be void. Ah, gotcha. Okay, so this is probably the route that we need to take then. This will be the route. Also, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for the details. I was, that one I was questioning for a bit, so I thought, you know what, let me ask you right quick first, since you're here. Number 2 is a bit, let's see. Number 2, but a bit darker. Just a touch. Alright, that sounds good. I could do that. But yeah, also, if you gotta take care of things, go take care of those things. Never feel bad about writing and running, because that's what raids are all about. But if you decide to screw around, I'll greatly appreciate that. I hope you enjoy your stay. What are you playing? How is the Monster Hunter? Also good to see their SK. Lampy, Mega Cutie, no take-backs. Lies and slander. And I refund this, I refute that statement. There we go. Okay, let's see. Black cloth like a plushie? Alright, sounds good. Okay, we could work with that one then. Oh, they wanted a tool. They could have gone with John Walker instead of Steve. True, very true. Oh, I remember now. This is your new model type. Yeah. That's the one. Alright, let me see. But yeah, good to see their SK. I was working on Monster Hunter Wilds. Sorry, just hunted the Black Flame. Ooh, Black Flame, what's that? Not gonna lie, every time I hear Black Flame, the first thing I think is Elden Ring. Trying to get the Gathering Hub before the seasonal event ends. Ah, fair. Mushroom. Alright, let's get back to the drawing at hand. We're gonna go back over here. We're gonna figure this out. So now that we got the coat, what we can work on next is we're gonna go to, what's the next layer? We got those ones just fine. The next layer that we need to get is the hat. Or, we'll just call this head. Face. Let's call this face. As for this, all we need to do is just start cleaning up these details. Drag one part over here. Right, got to make sure that the layers are at 100% opacity. Draw one there. Draw a part there. Bring this down. Have it stop right there. There we go. Drag this part all the way across. Drag that part down. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where we're actually going to make the hat A little bit further down like so. Line that part up like that. Clean up this line a little bit because this line is looking a little scuffed. We don't want that. We still want seemingly clean lines. Or at least smooth enough. There we go, that should be good. Alright, let's see. It's an oil-covered land squid that sets itself on fire for intimidation as well as defense. I think I may have seen that lava squid. I might be thinking of a different squid. It is hard to tell. But I remember seeing a couple of folks playing Monster Hunter, and I remember them fighting a calamari. Or a giant octopus, I can't quite remember. Also, SK, thank you for the hydrated. Greatly appreciate that. There's 2 octo squids in the game. So there's 2 of them. I may have only seen... Okay, I remember there was one in a cave. Like a molten cave. So I might be thinking of a different squid for octo. Alright, that part should be good. Next, what we need to do... We're gonna get rid of all of this for a minute. Yeah, let's just get rid of that entire shape. And then add these feathers. Add 1 feather. 2 feather. 3 feather. Lose this part for a second so I can connect all these points. Also, since I started late, I'm probably going to stick around for a pretty late time. So I'm thinking probably going to end at 12. If you folks need to get sleep, if you folks need to get rest, go get that sleep, go get that rest. We're probably only going to do the art layering part. I might do the rigging on stream, which isn't going to be a lot because the rigging was done a long time ago. Hence the reason why it's called a Your Character Here, or a YCH. So this one, the only thing that we're really going to do is just adjust some of the shapes to make sure that they're not buggy and load the new layers into the, just basically load the new layers into the pre-established template. So if you were looking for, I will definitely say this, unfortunately, if you were looking for a full-on live 2D rigging stream today, this unfortunately is not the one, but we will get to that in the future. I still have some other projects that I need to rig. And I do want to make a mouse and a jellyfish. A mouse, a dog, and a jellyfish. Those are my main 3 goals to rig on stream. Mouse, dog, jellyfish. The mouse and the dog go onto the Etsy page. The jellyfish goes onto the coffee page. Because I don't know how well the jellyfish is going to come out. But I think that one's going to be fun. 12 p.m. long stream? Absolutely not. I'm only going to be here for 2.5 hours. I am calling it at midnight. I ain't being here for a whole 2.5. Or not 2.5. I'm not going to be here for a whole day. God, no. Granted, there's a good chance that I could if I wanted to. I just don't want to. If this model could show fear, I'd have it show fear right now. Okay, let's see. Oh wait, my bad. I hope I didn't spoil anything for Sunder. That's fair, that's fair. You're right, I didn't think about spoiling in Monster Hunter. I didn't think that one through either. We'll leave that alone for now. But yeah, okay, let me see. So now that we got those parts right there, let's also clean up this line a little bit. This is looking a little too funky. A little too wobbly. Now that we got that point, Let's take the eraser, drag it right back across. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, speaking of which, so... Well, I guess I already mentioned this part, so I might as well bring this up right now. So, the other thing that I was mentioning, since I brought up that the live 2D boss fight stream is going to be next month, this coming May, either in mid-May or late May. I'm also thinking of setting up like a stream event for that thing. Not just a stream event, but how do I put it? I think I'm doing one of those subathon or bit-thon or whatever thon streams sort of thing along with it, just to showcase. And if we reach 3K, then you know what? I need to prepare for two different things. Because the model might show up before we hit 3K. In worst case scenario, the model shows up right before the 3K. So it's like, we reveal the model, we go through that whole event, hurrah, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, 3K follow goal. And I'm like, oh great, now I need to set up another event. So now I'm a little worried about that. Oh, I've actually got a stream-thon going on right now. Yo, nice. How's it going for you? Like, how does it work? Like, how's it running at the moment? It's not much of a spoiler. A lot of monsters have doppelgangers with different attributes. Ah, fair. Good to know then, good to know. But yeah, there's been a lot of brainstorming in the background. And I will definitely say, since I got that on paper, I finally also figured out how I'm going to set up all the mechanics for the boss fight. And I got some good things going there. Save. Thank you for the save there, Ryu. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas for that boss fight. I got most of them written down. Now all I got to do is actually, one, I'm planning on making a video to, promote it. Because if I've learned one thing, it's this. Promote all of your stuff. If you got something that you're really proud of, promote it. Make it a whole hoopla. Make it a big event. I mean, granted, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want the most number of people to know that it's happening, promote it. Promote it like it's a big... Yeah, basically promote it like it's a big event, because it is a big event. If you feel like it's a big deal, you should promote it like it's a big deal. Like if you got a, for example, like let's say you got a Donathon event coming up, or you got a new live 2D model right around the corner, or your birthday is, coming along the way. Showcase that like it's a brand new show. Showcase it like it's the second series, or like it's the returning series of Futurama. Let the world know that Futurama is coming out. Or your equivalent of Futurama coming back. Actually, to be fair, Futurama came back multiple times and it didn't really hit the same, so I guess maybe not Futurama. Make it like a big event, like how Family Guy came back in 2008? 2000... I want to say it was 2008 that Family Guy came back and it was a big deal. Maybe? I don't remember what year it was, but I remember, I remember this one joke that they brought up, like the first joke that they made in Family Guy when they came back after a cancellation was, well, folks, family, I hate to break it to you, but we've been canceled. Like, what? Why? Like, well, they had to make, they had to make room for all those great shows like Firefly, The Tick, what other ones did they have? Quantum Leap. Some other shows. They just kept on Wanda at Large. They just kept naming a whole bunch of shows that Fox used to have on TV. And then they, you know, Lois asks, like, is there any chance that we could come back from this? And Peter just brings up, and this is my favorite joke about all of that, because when he listed all those shows, the last line of that joke was, well, if all those shows go down the tube, maybe we'll have a shot. And if you were old enough to know those shows, you know why that was funny. I love that joke. That one was a classic, and that was one of those jokes where you had to be there for it. You had to be there. You had to have lived through all of those shows. Okay, maybe not all of the shows, but you had to have lived. You had to be there to have seen all of those shows come out. To really understand that joke. It was a great one. I don't know what happened to Family Guy. Anyway. I forgot why I even brought up that joke in the first place. See, this is what happens when you ramble on. Sometimes you forget. Oh, right, I was talking about big events. Like, promoting your stuff like it's a big event. And, yeah, promote it like it was Family Guy coming back from the dead after its first cancellation. Or its only cancellation? Yeah, basically, after its only cancellation, promote it like it was that. Thank you for the save. I think I already said that part, but just to be safe. Folks, this is why I can't be I can't just what's the word I'm looking for? This is why I cannot be allowed to just talk about whatever. So I'm just gonna ramble on, I'm gonna drift off into a completely different conversation, and when I'm done with whatever topic I was talking about, I'm gonna realize I had nothing to do with what I was trying to about the point that I was trying to make. Like, I'm trying to get back on, or I'm gonna fight myself to get back on track most of the time. This is why I sit here wondering, what do people even watch this channel? All right, there we go. So we got the hat. We got the hat. We got the duck fluff. Let's add the button at the top. Like so. There we go. And last but not least, let's add that hat. Let's add that hat in the back. Like so. Boom. Back of the hat brim. And before we add the duck bill, we're just going to add the fluffy feathers on the side, like so. We got a little too wobbly there. Let's bring it back. And that should be good. Now let's go back to the other end. Actually, there's two different ways we could go about this, but you know what? It's easier this way. And 1. And 2. And 3. Boom, there we go. Now for the duck bill. First, let's make a new layer so I don't forget. Or so I don't lose it. And once we get this duck bill done, that is when we're going to catch up on all the reading. So give me 1 second there, folks. Just got to drag this whole thing across. Uh-oh. Running in blind. Yep, a little too far off. Let's try that again. Let's drag this over here. Gonna run through the shadows and hope for the best. Now let's bring this back around because that was a little off. Increase the size of a brush right quick. Drag this a little bit more. Clean this side up a bit. Get our brush. Drag this whole part across. And there we go. last but not least, oval right there, oval right there. And now we're good. All right, let's catch up with the reading. It's kind of ground to a halt. My streamathon started with 16 hours on the timer, and more gets added with every dollar tip. Only half value for subs. I've got incentives for individuals as well as the whole group. I'm trying to raise money for new channel assets, emotes, transitions, backgrounds, music, and if we raised enough, maybe a new model. We hit 120, or we hit 115, but it's just remained static since. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. And I'm sorry to hear that there, buddy. I will say, though, 100 is definitely a good start. As a matter of fact, I still think that's a pretty solid shape right there. I mean, granted, I know that there's probably like more that you're hoping for, more that you're waiting on, but I would say even then, that's still a pretty good success. Oh, earphones are dying on me. Hold on one second. I don't know if it sounds robotic for anyone else, but give me 1 second there. Or more robotic than normal. But yeah, I would say that's pretty good. That's a pretty solid run at the moment. All right, we're going to put it right there. That's a pretty nice chunk of change, but sadly, that's not going to get me access to a lot. That's also fair. That's also fair. I can understand that. I can understand that sentiment. I will also say, I was more so worried that it was going to be like one of those situations where you say like, oh yeah, so we had these goals, we had all of this, nothing's come in. Because then, you know, that part I would have been looking at like, oh, okay, so... And to be fair, I will definitely say, when it comes to that situation, actually, I don't know what to tell you on that situation. Other than, it's a good start, it's a good run. I believe you I believe in you. You got this. And if it's not exactly the goal you were hoping to reach, then it's time to figure out what can you do to change that? What can you add to get to the point that you're looking for? Alright, so we got that. Let's also hide... What on earth is that whole shape? Oh, that's the body. How did I forget that? Anyway, I'm just looking at that whole part right there like, what on earth is this? This looks so bugged out. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Then I realize, oh, yeah. Whoops. Well, now I know better. All right, let's go back to the duckbill. Are you the duckbill? You are indeed the duckbill. Let's drag this down. But yeah, that's the number one thing to find out. Like, if it's not reaching the point that you were hoping it would, it's time to find out what could you do to what can you do to change that. Because I could definitely tell you, I've definitely had situations where I thought, this could have turned out better than I thought. I mean, it's still something. And I greatly appreciate anyone who's ever, you know, contributed. But I will definitely say I've had moments where I thought, I failed this one. What can I do to make it better next time? That's mostly the best way to look at it is, if it didn't reach your goals, it's time to go back to the drawing board and figure out what can you do to make it reach that point. As for what you could do, your guess is as good as mine. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that because, one, it's based off of your community, it's based off of your content, it's based off of you as a person, that what works for you? What are you willing to do? What are you willing, or yeah, what are you not willing to do? And what does your community prefer? Because there are some communities where they want to see the streamer, you know, absolutely rage in a game. Other communities want to... What's the word I'm looking for? Some communities want to see the streamer rage. Some communities want to see the streamer cry in happiness. Sometimes the community wants the streamer to fulfill their fantasies in some way, shape, or form. And then you have this community. I don't know what they want. Well, okay, I know a few things that they want. And I don't like it. Okay, I think I just gotta turn off this earphone because it's just not working right. Alright, let's try this again. Wonder how the duck is able to reach the pedal while driving. Wait. You try to reach the pedal? I just put a brake on, or yeah, I just put a brick on the acceleration and hope for the best. There we go, so we got that part. Last but not least is that we're going to make a new layer again. And luckily for this part, we actually don't need to name a lot of the layers. I was looking for a circle. That is a square. Or that's a rectangle. I do not want a rectangle. I think it would be funny, but we're actually looking for this shape here. Let me also see. Okay, so duck's eyes are more of a... Actually, yeah, the duck's eyes are black and white. So yeah, we just put black and white. So let's get that shape. Let's move it over here. Maybe bring both of them down a little bit. There we go. Problem solved. This should be good. See, the thing is, brakes are for cowards. We stop with friction and objects in front of us. There we go. See, Destroyer gets it. Which, by the way, let's give a shout out to Destroyer. How you've been liking the... Okay, I know you mentioned it in the Discord, but I hope you've been enjoying the Helldivers. And folks, go check them out. Especially since there was a Helldivers update a few weeks back. If you want to go see what that's all about, go check out Destroyer. They play the Helldivers, the Palmons, Pal World, Pokemons, something. I don't know. Go check them out. They play a good variety of stuff. It's a very chill time over there. They also got a slow-mo throw. That's like one of my favorite redeems, is that you just slowly see that object just slowly but surely making its way there, like the meteorite that's supposed to hit the Earth. You're not going to see it happen, but you know it's on its way. And that's what really matters, is that... And that's basically what their slow-mo throw redeem is like. Like, you see it, you know it's about to happen, you don't know when it's going to happen, and you're probably going to lose track of time waiting for it to happen. But you know it's going to hit, and it's going to be glorious when it does. Maybe. I don't know. Put a brick on it. Puts a Monarch deck. Puts a Monarch deck in the gas pedal. Shame you can't use Blue Eyes as that joke anymore. Ever since they got those new updated cards, you can't use that. Thank God for Monarchs. Hopefully they still brick after the new support. Because I know the Monarch deck is getting some new cards, but they haven't arrived yet. They're not in the real game. They're not in Master Duel. I don't even think they're in the OCG yet. So we could still keep making fun of Monarchs for being bricks. And I know there's some Monarch players out there that are like, let's hope it not stay, or let's hope it doesn't stay that way. I'm just sitting here thinking, I miss those jokes. Let's keep our Monarch nonsense. Let me keep laughing about Monarchs. All right, so now that we got all of this, the next step that we need to do, put the body back. New layer. Not that one, not that one. Let's merge these two down, though. We're going to name them eyes. No, not merge visible. Merge down. Name that eyes. There we go. What's this part? That's the duck bill. We're going to name that bill. That's the face. So what we need to do is snag this entire part. Move it a bit further to the right. Clean that stuff up. And we are good. We are all set with that. I also need to buy a new thingy for the tablet because the screen that I have, it's gotten so messed up and scratchy that you could literally hear it. Actually, let me see if you could hear this. I mean, you could probably hear that part, but hold on a minute. In comparison to that, I don't know if you could hear that or not. Maybe that was just a jumbled mess, but long story short, it was very scratchy. There's a very messed up texture there. Scratchy tablet ASMR, basically. But yeah, there's a... Let's move this carefully. Let's make sure that the router doesn't get messed up. Wrong one. Go back here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, we're good. Let's save. And now let's add some of the color tones. Let's get some of that blue. Actually, let's take the bill and the eyes and merge those down. Merge layers, merge down. Boom, now it's the whole face. That should be solid enough. Now let's make a new layer up top there. We're gonna go with the blue for now. Select this entire point. Actually, before we fill in any more of this stuff, let's work on one other thing. Let's add all of that. We're going to need to clean up that edge later. Actually, you know what? We could probably clean this up now. Okay, maybe not entirely. You know what? I know what I could do about this. Boom. Problem solved. Easy. Alright, now that we got that, let's actually go back to the head, because we need to color tone this. Make it slightly more blue. Go to leveling. Increase the leveling by a whole lot. That should be good right there. That should be a solid enough tone. Take that tone, go all the way over here, go back to the blue. Put this section. But yeah, scratchy tablet. Well, anyway, long story short, going back to it, as I was saying before, I need to replace that screen tablet. And, not gonna lie, I'm actually glad that I finally listened to somebody about the screen tablet idea. Because originally... Okay, actually I didn't listen to anybody about the screen tablet. The main reason why I picked up the screen, or, you know, the... Not screen tablet, but like the... How do I put it? The screen protector, that's the word. The reason why I picked up a screen protector for this tablet is because, one, I wanted to pick up I wanted to pick up that metal pen tip so I never have to buy another pen tip again. For the, you know, basically, you know those little plastic ones that come with your tablet pen and how you have to replace those every other God knows how long, because they wear out. Yeah, they basically wear out, and then they kind of... They don't work. Yeah, they just basically wear out, they become flat, and then they don't work no more. I heard of a titanium pen tip for the Wacom, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick one of those up. But before I did worry that, you know, if it's metal and it doesn't wear out, wouldn't that mean that your tablet is more likely to wear out instead? So I looked into it. And yeah, this is why you get a screen protector. So the screen protector wears out instead of your actual tablet. And so after finding that out, I was like, okay, I understand the assignment now. Yeah, I understand the assignment now. I'm gonna go get me one of those screen protectors. And now here we are. But since the screen protector has now worn out, I need to get a new one. I just don't want to get a new one, but I gotta do the thing. Because eventually, though it's manageable now, eventually it's gonna get to the point where it's... You know, the protector is eventually gonna wear out to the point where either A, I'm gonna have trouble, you know, drawing across everything, or B, I'm going to dig right through it, and now I'm going to start causing damage to the actual screen itself. And I don't want that. Also, Klane321, thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the Moth fleet. I hope you enjoy your stay. By the way, you're lamping now. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. And I hope you enjoy your stay. Or I already said that part. Don't worry about it. Anyway. However, what should be worried about is what on earth is that spot? Oh, that's the sketch. Right. Okay, where did I put that sketch anyway? There it is. We could get rid of this entire thing. Let's get rid of that sketch. Let's save. This should be good. Let's go back to the duckbill, or the face details. Nav this entire point. Get the base color for the hat. And boom, that's one. Get this little spot right here. Add base color number 2. Boom. Let's also go to the coat since we have this already. Where is the jacket? There's the jacket. Let's hide the hands. Hand number 1, hand number 2. Let's also hide the face. And let's hide the tail. You know what? Let's hide everything. There we go. And body is gone. Let's select with all of this. This should be good. Wait, I just realized what I could do right here. Instead of using the lasso tool, let's just use the selection wand. Select the outside. Select. Modify. Expand by... Let's go with 5. I think 5 should be good. Okay, 10 was the magic number. One more time. Then we select the inverse. Right, new layer first. New layer underneath the line layer. Boom. Let's go get that blue one more time. Go back to the jacket, select the line art here. Select, modify, expand by 10. As 10 was the magic number. There we go. Then we're going to take our lasso tool and select the small section right here. There we go. Then we put the blue. Right, before we put the blue, go back to the base color. There we go. And last but not least, put a transparency lock so it doesn't select anything on the outside. And add the shine to the glasses. And we're all set with that one. Let me see. Let's put everything else back. That should be good. Honestly feel like we could do a little bit better with the lighting on the duck face. Or You know what? Actually, no, that should be fine. This should be a-okay. Maybe. Let's also go back to the body. Select here. Increase the brightness a little bit more. There we go. Now we just need to do the same thing with the hands. Where are the hands? There we are. All right, new layer. We're going to put the colorize. We're going to put that. We're going to put the hue at 90 or 190. We're going to put the saturation at 15. And we're going to put the lighting. We're not going to do anything to the lighting. We're going to leave it right there. So 90, 15, 0. Or 190, 15, 0. And go back over here. Colorize, hue 190. $15, 0. There we go. Now let's go to the leveling. Increase that tint like crazy. We're going to put it at 263, or 0, 263, and... You know what? Happy number. 250 and 160. That's the number we're going to go with. Let's put that there. Let's go to this one. Put the same tint. So 250. And 160. There we go. Oh, right. Ads already started. You know what? That's fair. All right. So we got that tint. Might need to go back to the face. Let's just make that one a bit brighter. There we go, that should work. And honestly, because of that, let's also make this one a bit brighter. There we go. That should be solid enough. Let's zoom out and let's see. That should be better. All right, we got the color tone that we were looking for everything else here. Let's go back a little bit more. Let me see. Let's go back to the face. Oh, it's still there. Oh, okay, that's fair. Put the transparency lock, remove that transparency lock, because what I want to do next is take this section, blend it in, take our smudge tool and just zigzag up and down, up and down, up and down. And then just drag it along the path, like so. Let's also drag this up a little bit because it's kind of going a little too far on this end. There we go, that should be solid enough. Looks like Steamboat era cartoon. I know, right? I can already see this duck trying to whistle. Yeah, I can imagine this duck trying to whistle. All right, also, since we got this color tone, let's lose the tire for a minute. Or the hand, that works better. All right, yeah, that works the same. We're going to put a transparency lock now. And we're going to take our brush. We're going to put it at 0% sharpness, so it's a nice strong blur, or a nice strong blend. And we're going to put our layer back to transparency lock. We could put a little bit of a shadow underneath everything, like so. And we're good. Yeah, that should be solid enough. Now that we got that, let's go back to... we may have went a little too far here. Okay, so, next step. Let's take this blue again. Then we take this color here, boom, blend that in, and we're all good. Let's go back over to the duck fluff. New layer. Right, we need to remove the transparency lock. Put the brush sharpness back to 100. So this doesn't... Oh, wrong layer. But yeah, we put it back to 100, so it's a nice sharp blend. Like so. Erase this section. There we go. Solid enough. Yeah, that spot should be good. We put our transparency lock back. Flip the color, put the sharpness back to 0. And since this part is further in the background, we'd actually put a slightly more... Okay, actually, probably more of a shadow at the bottom of the first 2 feathers. Like so. As for the top feather, maybe a little more, as crazy as it sounds, maybe a little bit up at the top. Let's remove the transparency lock, blend this in a little bit. There we go. That should be solid. Now for last but not least, we need to add the duckbill shades. So a new layer, put that, get that yellow, go all the way back over here. Select this whole thing. And we're also going to put the face behind the tires once we're all done with everything. But not just yet. We haven't quite gotten to that point. First, let's select everything. Now that we got that, let's put the yellow. Boom, there we go. Now let's put a bit of a dark red. Somewhat faded dark red. That should be close enough. Select the inside of the mouth. Add the base color for that. That should be good. Then get a slightly higher tint of red, almost pink, but still saturated. Or desaturated. Yeah, desaturated is the one. Boom. Then we add that. It's all set. My name isn't Bill, it's Ryu. Your name is Bill now, accept it. Want to act like a smart aleck here? Well, guess what? Your name is Bill. Alright, let me see. The next step that we need to do. Go back to the DuckTales. Select. Modify. Expand by 10. Oh wait, actually that is that darker shade of blue I was looking for. Let's put that right. Another layer underneath first. There we go. Actually, you know what? We're gonna start with the bright color first. Go with the darker blue tint. And then just drag that across right here. And drag it across right where... Oh wait, actually I couldn't do that. I forgot. If I did do that, if I did add that darker tint where the rest of the body is, that shadow... Basically, here's what I was thinking. And under normal circumstances, this would be okay. Where we add the shadow like so. Oh, you can't see it because of wings. Okay, so going back to it, let's zoom in right here. what I was thinking is, if we added this shadow right here, just add this blue tint right across, that would have made a lot of sense. That would have been fine. However, the problem is this duck is going to be turning left to right, left to right. Therefore, that shadow being right there, that would either A, have to move along with the duck, or B, not exist. And since I'm lazy right now, it's gonna not exist. Also, the other main reason why we're not going to do so is because, always remember, folks, when you're working on emotes, you don't want to sweat too much on the details. I emphasize on the word too much, because you do want to add detail to your emotes. You do want to make sure that there are features that, when you look up close and personal, that they are going to be there, that you could see them. But, under most circumstances, emotes are going to be very, very far away. Which means you're not actually gonna see all those details. For example, you know what? Let me see. Maybe there's an example that I could show on this duck right now. You know what? Perfect example. You see that little line that we added for the duck tongue? You see that little line? If you bring this all the way down to the size of an emote, which is probably like about this size, depending on your screen, this is probably the size of an emote. Do you see that little line that was on the tongue that I showed earlier? Do you see this little line right here? This little part? If we zoom all the way out, is that really something you're going to notice? I don't think so. And so because of that, when it comes to most emotes, you want to put some details. You're going to definitely want to put details. But you don't want to sweat the little details. You don't want to go for every little perfection or imperfection. I mean, granted, if you see a large imperfection, you're going to want to focus on that. But if you see something where it's like, yeah, but this character doesn't have that pattern like it should, like it normally does. If it's a small, tiny little pattern, like let's say, what would be a good example? I got a good example. Hold on a minute. Let's go back to the original Lampy model. You see this Lampy model right here? You see the wings? You see the pattern on those wings? If you've seen me make emotes of Lampy all the time, you will notice that that pattern is not there. Why? Because it's not going to be noticeable enough. It's not going to be as big of a deal. Now, granted, the antennae are definitely something that you're going to want to see, because that signifies, yeah, it's a bug, it's a moth. If those aren't there, you're not going to tell. But if it's a minute detail that does not take away from the overall design, don't sweat it. For example, there's stitching on this here hat. Like the model that, or yeah, the design that we're being shown, there's stitching on that hat. We're leaving the stitching out because that would be a lot of that would be unnecessary work. That would be unnecessary trouble. But you see those tiny little purple edges on the... You see those tiny little purple spots on the edges of the feathers? Also a very, very tiny, minute detail that if you zoom as far away as possible, you're not going to notice. But it's a signifier of the character. It's a signifier of the design. Even if we left those ones out, that would be a problem in the long run. Even though you're not going to see it. You're not going to notice it from that far away. That is a design that you need to add. That is a detail that is necessary. The little stitching, that's a little detail. Focus on the, yeah, when you're working on emotes, focus on the signifying details. Like glasses, duck bill, hat, purple ends of the feathers, jacket. That is basically it. The stitches, not necessary. The little, what do you call that? The collar of the shirt? Not necessary. That's all, or yeah, those are the details that you need to know. Focus on the main details that signify the character's design. The smaller details, don't sweat it. Also, thank you for the save, the hydrate. Yeah, thank you for the save and the hydrate. And the quack there, Fallen. And welcome on in, how you be, folks. Go check out Fallen. They've made a lot of amazing, yeah, they made a lot of amazing PNGs that we use for Fuji designs, or yeah, for reactive Fujis. And they've graced me with the opportunity to rig their live TD models. It's been an honor. It's some great stuff, and go check them out. They play a good variety of games, and it's very, very hilarious. Like them, okay. I know for them this is not fun, but I know for a fact that when watching them absolutely, you know, they absolutely just lose it in games like Repo or other games that they play. Oh, Dark Hours, stuff like that. When they absolutely lose it and they're ready to throw a fit, it is some of the most hilarious things you've ever seen. Go check them out. But yeah, overall, really great people. Really awesome stuff. Really great art. And I hope things are well on your end there, Fallen. I hope things are good. Hey? What? A is for horses. I'm doing the thingy. Wait, what thingy? What you doing tonight? What's the thingy? Okay, let's see. Go check out Fallen Show's Gun. Yeah, go check out Fallen. Like right now. You know, the thingy. Oh! Okay, I'm trying to think of the thingies. I'm pretty sure we talked about... You don't get it? Okay, send me the details on the Discord. Because I feel like we talked about it. I think I might know what you're talking about, but I don't want to guess on stream. Because I'm thinking, like, it could be this, it might be that, maybe that. Wait. Okay, see, this is what I mean. Like, I have a couple of guesses, but I didn't want to say them on stream because I might actually get it right and, oh, okay. I understand now. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, okay, I understand now. I know exactly what you think. I know which thingy you're talking about now. That's gonna be awesome. Good night. All right, let's see. I gotta go to bed. Emote looking good. Yo, thanks. I'm glad you like it. And yeah, you go get that sleep there, Sunder. I greatly appreciate you stopping by. And I thank you again for the raid, and I hope you have a good night, better tomorrow, and a great week. You take care now there, friend. Okay, so here's what we got so far. I might actually take this color tone a bit. Go back to the ducktail. Just to make the back of the ducktail tone a little bit easier to see. Everything else should be fine. I think for this one, we might need to just drag this down just a little bit more. There we go, much better. Now you can actually see that ducktail from afar. Let's also add some purple. So new layer. Let's go back to this color tone. Let's get that purple. Or indigo. Kind of reminds me of the GameCube color. That's the wrong one. There we go. Let me see. So we're going to put this as an overlay. Put the transparency lock right there. Put this on one end. Oh, right. Wait, why isn't this working? Oh, because the overlay... Oh, right. This ain't supposed to be an overlay then. Let's get rid of all of that. Oops. Let's get rid of all of that because that ain't working right. Not an overlay. Let's put multiply. Yeah, I think multiply works, but we're also going to bring this back to 100% sharpness. That should be good. Let's try this again. All right, let me see. By the way, can I discuss the streamathon with you later? Maybe ask some advice? Yeah, no problem. Feel free to ask all the questions that you need. Maybe I could help. I did sport the purple Game Boy color. Ooh, nice. Wait, that was a purple Game Boy? I just remember the GameCube. I'm trying to remember. Which one's the purple Game Boy color? Was the purple Game Boy the one where it was the transparent one, or was it a solid color? DMs or Discord publicly? You could probably... Yeah, you could probably... Actually, you can either Discord publicly... Either option works. Yeah, either option is fine. I would say... DM... Yeah, you can either DM if you don't want everyone to see. Or you could use publicly if you want advice from everybody. Because you never know. Someone else might have better advice than I do in the Discord. As crazy as that... Actually, I wouldn't even say crazy, because you never know. I'll be honest, I ask folks in the Discord, like, hey, so I'm trying to figure something now. Can anybody help with this? I need ideas. I need ideas, so I'm just going to steal your brains so you can do this for me. Alright, let's see. Yo, Poised Jester, how do you be? Hope you're having a good day there, buddy. Solid, though love the transparent systems. Yeah. Those were the days. I miss when consoles had cool colors. I mean, granted, the GameCube or the Switch also had cool colors. I think the Switch was the only one that had cool colors now that I think about it. Actually, yeah. Actually, now that I think about it. It was only Nintendo that had the cool colors. Well, that and the Macintosh. Outside of that, it was just Nintendo and Macintosh that had the cool colors. Every other system, not really. Xbox, PlayStation. Closest PlayStation had was gray. I think. I could be wrong. Does anyone else remember any other colors from PlayStation and Xbox? Like, did they have any other cool colors? And I'm thinking about, like, the earliest ones, too. Like, not the newer systems. Like, the earliest systems, like, did they have any cool ones? That, okay, closest I could think of now that I'm thinking about it is Xbox One, I think it was, did have the Halo. The Halo Xbox, that was pretty cool. Where it had, like, okay, I will definitely say, Xbox One had a pretty cool Halo system. Or was it 360? It was one of those two. All I know is that Xbox had this cool Halo system where it actually had the Halo sounds when you turned it on, turned it off, pulled a disc out, put a disc in, all of that sort of stuff. That was a pretty cool thing right there. Outside of that, I don't remember. Also, Murray, welcome on in. How you be? Antonio Mai, hope things are well. Okay, I'm back. What did you say? You left? Alright, I ain't gonna answer that. No, I'm kidding. I told you, yeah, either drop it in the Discord or send the message to me directly. Either one of those choices is your... Yeah, whichever choice you prefer, that's... go with whichever one works best for you. Alright, let me see. Do the la 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 la... Wait, hold up. We need to get the Creepo mouth for this one. Do the la 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 la. Thank you. PS5 has to buy the different outer shell colors. Oh. I mean, I suppose that's okay. I suppose you could at least... I guess giving the system a skin is okay. I guess that's one way to customize. I guess. Yeah, you know what? I'll roll with that. I suppose that's one way to customize. Also, let's see. Darken? Linear burn? Let's go with darken. Let's see how well that works. All right, so we got that. Let's go to the hands now. Let's put that. Let's put back that. Let's go to hand number 1, hand number 2. Go to over here. And, new layer. Put multiply. No, not multiply. Actually, one, let's get the music back. Alright, let's see. PS1 white, PS2 black, PS3 black, PS4 black, PS5 white. Really? Oh yeah, PS5 is white. Well, it's black and white. It looks like Kaiba from Battle City. Did they have any other, you know, like promotional colors or something? Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. All right, let me see. I'm good. How about you? So far, it has been a very, very busy couple of... It's been a busy while. But it's been pretty good. It's been pretty solid. I have gotten myself a good number of commissions. We are still a long ways away from... or not so much a long ways away. We're pretty close to, you know, reaching the... I'm pretty close to reaching what I need for rent this month. And it's still only the beginning of the month. So this is a pretty solid standing point right here. And at this rate, I should have most of the projects done. And yeah, I should have most of the projects done for this month. And I should be here's hoping for the next here's hoping for the second half of the month. So just got to be working on all of that and such, and it should be fine. And honestly, I also forgot to say, everyone who's commissioned me this ever, I greatly appreciate it. You're all awesome. You what's the word I'm looking for? I greatly appreciate it. You're all awesome. And you help me basically you help me continue to do the job, or yeah, you help me continue having a job that I like doing. You help me fulfill, you know, having the dream job of not... What's the word I'm looking for? You help me fulfill having the dream job of just working at home and drawing all day. And avoid starvation. And keep a roof over my head. That too. That's a good way to put it as well. PSP had different models, as I bought the limited edition white with Darth Vader decal model. Ooh. That's actually pretty awesome. I like that. That's actually pretty cool right there. Alright, we're gonna snag this. We're gonna take this. Wait, is this not on the right layer? Yeah, this should be the right layer. Why does it not want to work now? There we go. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Oh, right, because I was using a smudge tool. There we go. Let's snag this, let's use that smudge tool again. And instead of dragging across the path, we're going to drag along the path. This is to basically just add a slight blur to the end of those, well, ends. Not that too big of a deal. It's not really all that necessary, but it's something I'm going to do. Now let's add that last part of the purple. Go back up here. Go back up top. Right, brush tool. Add a little bit there. Add a little bit here. Add a little bit there. Look at that. Put the transparency lock. Get the eraser. Clean up those edges. And last but not least, let's get the yellow. And that right here. And we're almost set. Now that we got that, let's get that yellow. Let's get a darker tone. Let's put a new, let's put a new layer. Put a transparency lock on that. Or a, not a transparency lock, but a, I don't know the exact words. But yeah, let's see. I helped with the commission so he can get Isaac Clarke's skin. That too. For those of you, yeah, for context, Ryu was asking, like, hey, can I give you money to buy the Isaac Clarke skin? I'm like, no, don't give me money. And they were like, okay, what if I commissioned you and you would have the money to buy the Isaac Clarke skin? I was like, okay, you know what? I'm okay with that one. Because at least Ryu's getting something out of this. Because I'll definitely say, like, if people decide, like, hey, Lampy, I want to give you money. Here you go. I'm like, no, save your money. But if someone shows up like, hey, Lampy, and I commission you for something, I'm like, I'm in. Give Lampy money. No. Give Lampy work. I will take work. All of the work. There is also, although I will also say this, there is also a throne right over there. If you want to help speed up the process of getting the Lampy plushies out into the world again. Because right now, I'm currently saving I'm basically saving all of the Twitch payouts until I have enough to buy another batch of 50 plushies. Yeah, basically that's the game plan. I'm planning on buying another set of 50 plushies so I could send them out for giveaways or just sell them, you know, on the Etsy. Both the options are available. I'm also planning on making them a smaller... I'm planning on putting them at a lower price. This way they're a lot more accessible to more folks. Because, well, honestly, the previous prices, though I think they were reasonable, it also meant that there were some folks that didn't get the opportunity to pick up that Lampy plushie like they wanted. And I want to give more people the opportunity to pick up that Lampy plushie. So, I'm going to try to put them at a lower price. And since I know how this works a lot better, I know how much I'm going to need to ship everything out. So, yeah, we're going to see how that goes. By the way, Fortnite season is ending on the 25th of this month, and before you need to level up to get Sub-Zero. Oh, I see. Right, I forgot they have Scorpserian, or Sub-Zero and Scorpserian. No, wait. Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I don't even know where Scorpserian came from. That's not even a word. That's not even a name. I'm pretty sure there's a character out there called Scorpserian. As for what that name comes from, your guess is as good as mine. Oh, let's see. Maybe you were looking for the left layer? I might have been. I might have. I'll be honest. It's hard to say sometimes. Alright, so now that we got that, I'm actually going to drag this up a little bit higher. And now we're going to put the transparency lock. Now we're going to blend that in a little bit more. Boom. Now we got the ducktail. Or now we got the duckbill. Now let's go back over here. And I know I said don't sweat the little details, but I could definitely tell you a shadow is not a little detail. As much as I would like to look at it and say, yeah, the shadow, it's a little detail. We don't need to worry about all that. I feel like that one's going to be one of those things where it's going to bug me if I don't. So we're going to focus on that. Oh, right, because I put that transparency lock. Oh yeah, that also reminds me. Oops. Let's bring this back a little bit. Drag it downwards instead of up. There we go, much better. All right, now that we got that, let's snag that other shade, put it at 0% sharpness. Increase the brush a little bit. That's still the smudge. Bring this down. Put it back to 0. Increase the sharpness. Or, no, not increase. Keep the sharpness at 0. Increase the brush size. That's what I'm looking for. We're going to put this right here. Also, thank you for the hydrate, the posture check, and the stretch there, Destroyer, and I hope you have a good night. Yeah, a better tomorrow. Yeah, and a great week, or weekend. You take care now there, buddy. Yeah. Okay, in the sack now. Night, everybody. And remember, do not the Korsh. Wait, what? Crochet? What's that? Oh, probably a hidden character like Ermac or Reptile work? Maybe. At least Scorpion is an item shop skin as opposed to Sub-Zero, a Battle Pass skin. Oh, so Sub-Zero is one of those characters where if you don't get them right there, you're not going to be able to get them until the next time they pop up. Whereas Scorpion, you could at least buy them some other time. Oh, understandable. Okay, so Sub-Zero is FOMO. I understand now. Sub-Zero is a FOMO character. I get it. I get their tactic. I get their play. I see how they work. Let's bring this up a little bit. Let's go back to the jacket and let's select... Yeah, that whole thing. Drag that line across right there. And boom, there we go. We're all set. Well, almost. Let's go back up here where the hat is. Select this point. You know what? We might need to make this just a little bit brighter. Now, this might seem a little off. Like, why are you making that side brighter? Why are you adding that one little spot right there that makes it a whole lot brighter than anything else? And there's a pretty good reason for that, and I'm going to show you right now. Because, you see this background? You see how gray it is? It seems reasonable right now, but let's zoom out a bit. Seems fairly reasonable. But the moment we do this, very bright. So now you can see, well, let's zoom in a little bit more so you can see it a little better. You can see the back of the hat. Very dark in comparison to the background there. So you could see the hat, no problem. But what if we invert that? With the exception of that little brim, let's actually get rid of that again, just to show what I mean. Oh, I can't really do that, but, well, actually, maybe I can. There we go. We get rid of that light on the brim. Where's the hat now? You could probably see the hat, but just barely. Granted, we also lost the yellow, but the point being is you could barely see the hat now. And if you're thinking, well, didn't you just get rid of all the base color, so technically the hat color isn't there? Really now? As you can see, the base color is still there. But without the shine on the back of that hat, you lose it in a dark background. And you don't want that. So you're going to want to put a very, very bright edge at the end of it. Even though if you zoom in, that might be a little too bright. That might look a little too... Yeah, that might look a little too bright for a hat. But you see, that's the thing. Since we're looking at it from very far away, we kind of need that. That's the other thing to consider when it comes to emotes is shading. Shading, lighting, shadows, all of that. Because you're not just working with a... Yeah, you're not just working with a very dark background. You're also working with a very bright background. You might also work with a background that's a little bit off than that. And who knows? Since you put a lighter... Yeah, since you didn't put pitch black, you may have put a lighter shade. You might look at that and think, well, if we get rid of this... Oops, wrong one. Then it becomes, well, it's sort of visible, but it's still rather difficult to see from afar. That's why you put the lighting. That's why you put that bright little outline at the end. Yo, Ponder, welcome on in. How you be? Hope things are going well. Alright, folks. Oh, it's pronounced Korsha. It's an injake. What's an in, Jake? You guys here for a minute before I go to bed? That's fair, that's fair. I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope work hasn't been too much of a struggle. Or whatever it is that you had to do during the day. Because yeah, I understand that feeling. Work be tough. And life be tougher. But you got this, I believe. I'm going to bring this tone down a bit. That spot should be good. Let's go back to the hat. Let's select all of the blue. Boom, like so. One. Actually, we just need this side more than anything else. So let's snag this. Go to the new layer. Was it this one? Ah, it was this. This spot should be good. Let's just add that blue right there. And boom. Pretty solid shape. And it's all set. The duck is ready. Well, almost ready. One more shade right there. But yeah. Let's see. Indeed. Nice, nice, nice. But yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? I thank you for stopping by, nonetheless. I greatly appreciate it. Right now, we're currently working on a duck. We just added a little bit more lighting up top here. Right there should be good. And now the duck is all set. The duck is all done. We could save this. And we're going to be dragging this over to the... Well, first, we're going to take this part. Delete that. And now we're going to be dragging this all the way over to Live 2D. So let's save. And in case you're wondering, we don't need to add a new part. We just need this file. Let's close that. And we're just going to close Live 2D. Or, yeah, we're just going to close Photoshop for now. Get Live 2D. Make sure we don't hide anything. Or, you know, reveal anything. Because last thing... Yeah, the main thing... Well, actually, here's the funny thing. As crazy as it sounds, I think I could actually reveal the entire new Live 2D model. And still have it be a big surprise when it finally pops up. But we're not going to. Obviously, we're not going to do that. Not yet. We're going to keep that one as a hidden secret for a minute. Maybe I should... Nah. Let's keep the whole thing as a surprise when it pops up. Alright, let's go to those drive emotes. Where did I put them anyway? Nope. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. One of these folders. Drive template. Here we are. All right, so what we need is a new folder. I'm going to call that one Ryu Drive. We're going to take the drive template and the drive animation. We're going to copy those. We're going to bring it over here. Destination folder is an open source. Wait, what? Cancel? Let me see. Close this. Copy this. Okay, now we're good. Now we take this one over here, close that. Open this template. Okay, we're in the right spot. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Kind of. I think. Don't worry about it. Anyway. Let's get Live 2D onto the screen now. Where are you, Live 2D? There you are. Alright, so this is the current template that we have. Let's move Karibo out of the way so you can better see it. Karibo, you go right there. There we go. So anyway, this is currently what we got right now. Actually, let's zoom in a little more on this. Let's drag this part backwards. There we go. Now we have a better view of it all. So, how are we going to add the new layers? Whoops, wrong one. Let's actually close all of this. And let's go to the PSD file. whichever file you use to draw the whole thing. We're going to take this. We're just going to drag it in front of the screen. Just drop it right there. And it's going to ask if we want to make it a new template. And I'm going to put no. We're going to put replace everything. Update. Let's see what gets replaced. If we're lucky, everything gets replaced. It missed a few spots. And I think I understand what I need to do now. Alright, so let's backtrack on all of that. We almost had it, though. We almost had it. But here's what we need to do next. We need to go back to the Photoshop. Go back to Rio Drive. And I forgot there are certain layers that need to be blended together. So let's take everything here, merge them down. Merge this with the face. Which layer is this one? Okay, so merge this layer down. Merge that layer down. Wheel, head, jacket. You know what? Merge these layers together. Merge the jacket down with the body. I'm probably going to regret that one, but let's see how this turns out. Let's see how this turns out. DuckTales. Merge them. You know what? Let's backtrack. Just to be safe, let's backtrack. Let's keep the jacket as one whole layer. Turn the DuckTales as one whole layer. Keep the body as its own layer. And then save. Then we're going to see how this turns out. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how this rolls. Now let's close all of this, because I think that was everything. Face, right hand, left hand. Wait, I just realized, why is the face in front of everything? The face should be right behind the head. There we go. This should be good. This should be fine. Alright, let's see how this ends up. Let's save one more time and let's close. Let's close the whole thing. Go back to the Photoshop. Go back over here. Drag that file into the drive template. Replace everything in the drive template. And let's see how much we replaced. Almost had everything. But there are a few features that we just need to fix around now. So let's open up the Lampy folder. Get all those parts first, 1, 2, and 3. And what we're basically going to do is just move them over until they line up just right. And I think right here should be good. Almost. Yeah, I think this lines up a lot better. Here we go. So now that we got this, now that we got the body parts lined up, we just gotta drop them where they need to land. So first, right in front of the head. Then we take the jacket and the tail, put it right in front of the body. Then take that ducktail, put it right behind the body. And now we're all set. And, okay, you might be seeing all of this and thinking to yourself, this isn't quite, especially that tail is a bit off. But I can assure you, this should work just fine. The only, and funny enough, the only thing that we really need to add a, what's the word I'm looking for? The only one of these things that we really need to add a mesh to is the jacket. Everything on the face can stay as is. We don't need to add any mesh to the face. We can keep that as a square. The tail can also be left as a square. We don't need to do anything with that. It's the body here. It's the jacket that needs a mesh. Now, the reason why it needs one, I'm going to show you right now. Say we added a deformer. Let's say we added one of these green boxes. We just started moving this stuff around. You can see that the body barely moves when we use all of this stuff. That's because its mesh is very limited. It's only got like 4 squares. So let's go back to this mesh. And let's go all the way up top here where it says auto mesh. Or it just says auto. It doesn't even say mesh. Unless you hover over it, that's when it says automatic mesh generator. But basically, let's go to this triangle. with the words auto underneath it. Click on that, and a little box will pop up. All you got to do is just click on the preset, and it'll have 3 options. Standard, which is your regular one. Little, which is very little dots. Very little. Yeah, actually, I could show you right here. Standard. It has a good number of dots. Not too many, but it's still a good number of them. Then you got little. Barely any dots there at all. Then you got heavy. A whole bucket ton of dots right there. A whole bucket ton of triangles. But since this is a very, very simple design, we don't need that many meshes. We're just going to go with little for now. I'm going to put that. Actually, just to be safe, I'll put standard. Now, what are these meshes for? Well, as I showed before, where if we just took the top up here, it barely moved. Now, it moves however we like it to move. For the most part. Have this thing go all over the place. Warp this sucker. However you feel. That's what the meshes are for. Again, let me show you again. This is what it looked like when you put a full mesh on it. Look at that crazy sucker move and warp and shape and all that sort of stuff. Now, if we got rid of that mesh, you could see barely even moves, no matter how far we move it around. That is why you put a mesh on your layers. And luckily, like I said before, this is the only one that needs a mesh. So let's put that mesh right now. We're gonna put little. Actually, right, I forgot. I wanted to put standard because it is gonna move left to right multiple times. So let's put that. Let's put OK. Let's save. Would you like to delete item? Unused emote. Not yet. We're actually going to go to the auto mesh generator. Now, with the auto mesh generator, we're actually going to need to backtrack a little bit so you can see it right here. Auto mesh generator. What is this for? Or not auto mesh generator. I forgot. Wrong one. Texture atlas is the word I'm looking for. And for this texture atlas, this is just basically where you put all your PNG items. So we're going to take the main 3 that we have left. Right click, put place objects, automatic loadout, put OK, and it's going to automatically load everything. Make sure everything is separated, make sure that you don't have anything overlapping in some way, shape, or form. And now that I think about it, I just thought about something. Let's take this, that, and that. Get rid of those for a minute. Put the auto mesh. There we go. Put a new texture atlas. 2000 by 2000? Yeah. Then take these 3. Place them in the new texture. Automatic layout. There we go. Now they have a much better sizing sizing difference. There we go. Oh no, I'm in pieces. Yep. We're processing you into chicken McNuggets. This is we're basically doing to you what we did to the Necromorphs. We chopped them up into multiple parts, and then we cooked them. And then we put them on sandwiches. And then we made a profit. I think. I'd like to think we made a profit. Anyway, now that we're done with that, we could go back to the drawing page so you could hear the music again. All right. So now that we got all of that set up, let's actually take this deformer because we don't need it anymore, and let's go back to the root deformer because now we need to select certain points. Body steer, this is the one. We're going to take the jacket and put it in the body steer deformer. What is the body steer for? Well, if you look up there, or yeah, if you look at these points, we have certain things like, we have certain parameters, or steering wheels, if you will. And the first steering wheel is steering, which means it moves left to right. Actually, let's take the jacket away for a second. So basically, this deformer, we built this one to turn to the left, or, warp to the left when, the red dot moves to the left. And when it moves to the right, or, vice versa. When it moves to the left, it goes to the left. When it moves to the right, it moves to the right. But since that only works for the body, well, and certain parts for the head, because there are certain deformers that work that way, I apologize. This is not going to be a tutorial stream. I will don't worry though, I do have tutorial videos on the way. The first one just got finished. I'm currently just in the works with somebody to look over that video and then, you know, get them to work on, I think there's going to be at least 5 more left. Yeah, I think it's going to be broken down into at least 5 tutorial videos. So there's going to be 5 tutorial videos on the way, and that'll go into a lot more detail and explain things a whole lot better. Right now, my brain is a little too fried to explain how Live 2D works because we were too busy drawing parts of the duck. So anyway, I guess with all of that being said, we're just going to take the jacket and put it in the deformer that holds the body. So whenever the body moves left to right, the jacket will move along with it, as you can see. However, you could obviously tell that the face is not moving with everything else. The face is not moving with the head. So let's find out where the steering deformer for the head is. And it is right there. So what do we need to do? We take that face, put it right there where the head is, and now moves left to right as if nothing happened. And as for that tail, we'll leave it right there where it is. This is fine. Look at that duck go. Look at how happy that duck is, getting ready to crash into so many things. Now let's save. And last but not least, the tail. The tail doesn't need to move, so we could actually leave the tail where it is. Like, no touching the tail, we leave the tail as is. Now, you're also probably thinking, well, Lampy, are you going to make this work? Because I see certain parts that are a little off. One, this thing isn't even a full tail. That part cuts off at a certain point. And what's with this part at the bottom? Why is this a little off? Like, there's no shadow at the bottom. It's kind of a weird cutoff. And you'd be right. That is definitely a weird cutoff, but I'm going to show you why that is. Now let's go over here. Let's go to the drive animation that we made a while back. Move it right over here, and boom, as you can see, the duck is right there already as it is. But you'll also notice that the square is a bit smaller. Why is that square a bit smaller? Because this is what's going to make it, this is what we're going to have shown in the image. If we push play right now, you will see exactly what I mean. Everything at the bottom, all those weird cutoff parts that you saw, everything that you thought, wait a minute, that doesn't look complete. That's because that part is never meant to be seen when we're working on the drawing right here, or when we're working on the animation. Which, by the way, we're actually done with this thing. It's finished. It's over. It's done. So, let's actually almost done. There's one last thing we need to do. Go to animation. No, wait, not animation. Go to file. Go to export runtime. Put export motion file. It's going to ask a couple questions. Just put OK. Put OK. Do not change anything. And we're going to call this one duck. Or, yeah, we're going to name this duck. Or we're going to put it in desktop. Put save. Keyframes have been set outside. That's okay. We don't need to worry about those keyframes. Now, let me see. Just waiting for the whole thing to save. Where is that PNG? Oh, wait. Wrong one. I saved it as the wrong thing. Let's go back. File. Export image and video. That's what I'm looking for. Export GIF. 600 by 600? Yeah, I think that should be okay. Let's put all right. Let's also make sure. Okay, yep. In loop. Make background transparent. Yep, put okay. And then we're going to go to our desktop and we're going to put duck. And we're going to see how well this pans out. All right, let's get this GIF onto the screen. Let's go to, what image could I replace it with? You know what? I know what I could do. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this box that had the Lampadoroo in it. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Also, Merry Christmas. We're gonna hide this for a minute. We're gonna add a new. We're just gonna add a new layer, or a new file image, a new source. There we go. Image. Image 3. Yeah, sure. Browse. Desktop. Now, where did I put it? Where are you, you crazy duck? There it is. And boom, there we go. We have it. The duck is ready. Ryu, I'm going to send it to you. Where do you want me to send the duck to you? Do you prefer the vgen or do you prefer the, which one do you prefer? vgen, Discord? You let me know and I'll send the duck in one of those directions. But yeah, we're basically finished with this for now. Okay, I know I said I was going to end at 12, but I feel like this is a good place to leave it. Also, would you like this to be available as a Twitch emote? I'm assuming you would prefer to have it as a Twitch emote. Or would you prefer it as a Discord emote? You let me know. Thank you, Lampy. Yeah, no problem. No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to make this duck model. You know, as crazy as it sounds, this was actually a really fun project. It was simple, not too much work, and honestly, this was a funny image. I don't know what it is, but I like how the duck came out. It looks hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, looking at the screen right now, looking at how there's a duck in the background and a duck in the foreground and all these other things on the sides, it's a very trippy image. It's a very, very trippy scene right now. It's almost hypnotic. There's something about emotes that are almost hypnotic, I'll be honest. Especially animated emotes. Most likely a Discord emote? Alright, Discord emote it is. I will be sending you the full-sized image as well as the Discord emote for whatever it is that you want to use it for. And yeah, I guess I'm done for today. I will be back on Sunday. Oh wait, ad break ended. Okay, there we go. I guess we're done for today. I will be back on Sunday to... You know what? I'll be back on Sunday to work on the other emote. I'll be working on the other drive emote for a blobby derp. That one, gonna be very similar. I think it's gonna have a backpack or something. We might have it have a staff. I don't know. But actually, I think for the drive emote, it's just going to be, you know, just blobby as is with a backpack on the back. That's basically going to be it. The plushie model, that one's going to be an entirely different story right there. But yeah, we're gonna call it here. I'll come back on Sunday at 7 p.m. So in the meantime, let's see who is on at this hour. Let's see who we could raid at this time. Who can we drop everybody off on at this crazy hour? I see a few options. Yeah, I definitely see a few options of who we could drop everybody off. Did I ever raid into them before? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think about this. Let me see. Yeah, this is definitely a tricky one. I'm trying to remember. Like, okay, so... I think I did raid into them last time, so... Yeah, we'll leave them alone for now. We'll come back to them at another time. Tell you what, I know one person that raided into me quite some time ago, and I don't think I ever got the chance to raid them back. And they've... I want to say they haven't been on for too long in comparison to everybody else. So, we're going to drop you folks off over here. They raided us a while back. They're currently playing the Wandering Village. I don't know what the Wandering Village is all about, but yeah, let's go drop some support over there. We're gonna go raid into a... Let's see how to pronounce this name. Nuvi Desera. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. It's been a while, but I think they're called Nuvi Desera. We're gonna go raid into them. All right, but first, here is the raid message. We're gonna use this emote. They see me rolling. Actually, no. I drive. I would put the song, but the song of the song that goes with the lines "I drive" out of context. Like if they've never seen the movie Drive, or if they've never seen the meme Drive, out of context, that sounds very... How do I put it? Without context, it sounds very flirtatious. Because, you know, it's a song. What do you expect? But if you know the meme, if you know the whole meme of Ryan Gosling and the movie Drive, then it makes a whole lot more sense. But if you don't know the movie Drive, the context is thrown out the window and the interpretation becomes something completely different. So we're just going to put I drive. That's about it. Because the lines that I wanted to put originally was giving you a night call. And the rest of the lyrics, I forgot how the rest of the lyrics go. I think it was like, I'm giving you a night call, tell you how I feel. And so yeah, without context of the movie Drive, you could see how the lyrics come off. And yeah, we're not doing that. Yo, Quote, welcome on in. How you be? I hope you're having a good day there, buddy. I apologize. We're heading on now. We just finished the Drive emote. But I hope you've been having a good day. I hope things have been pretty solid. I hope things have been pretty good. But yeah, also here is the raid message. We're just going to put I drive. That's the raid message for today. Use those emotes if you have them. Use whatever emotes you have if you don't. And we are going to be raiding on out. At least I made to a Moth stream. That is very true. And it was awesome seeing you for the 30 seconds that we had. And I hope to see you again. Even if it is for 30 seconds. But either way, I'm glad to see you stop by. I greatly appreciate it. I apologize. I wish I was on earlier. Or I wish I was going to be on for longer, but I need food. And I need to go take care of things. But I hope to see you again in the future. Also, I don't know if you stream, or we're just going to give you a follow. Oh, I already followed. Just finished eating a burrito. Ah, that's fair, that's fair. I think I may have followed a while back. Or not a while back, but maybe a couple days ago? I could be wrong. But yeah, alright, so let's head on out. Like I said, we're gonna go drop everybody off with Nuvi. They are currently playing they're currently playing the Wandering Village. I don't know what that is, but we're about to find out. Also, if you would like to support the channel, one good way you can do so is by letting people know about the link page and all of that. We got a lot of different options over there. But first, let's raid, so I could explain all of that. Go show them some support. Go show them, treat them with respect, like you would treat any other channel here. And yeah, with that being said, if you would like to support the channel, you can go to the link page right over there. Got a lot of different options. We got, we got affordable models on the... Yeah, we got affordable models on the Etsy page. We got free stuff on the Coffee page. We got merch on the Teespring. I might be moving all the merch to a different site because Teespring has been kind of dead and difficult to use. Like, it's not very user-friendly, so I might work on that later. But anyway, with that being said, we also got... Also, if you or someone you know is looking for commissions like the Drive emote we just made, or emotes, assets, character sheets, character concepts, live 2D models, both big and small, just the art, just the rig, either option works for you. And animations, I think that was everything. Also, we work based off of your budget. If you have a certain budget that you can't go beyond, we'll try to work with you on that. We also have a sale on the vgen if you want to check that out. Or if someone you know is looking for that sort of stuff, go check it out there. And with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. Always remember, you're all awesome in your own way because you folks make these streams and this community what it is. It's awesome chat with you folks, cracking jokes, brainstorming, all that funny stuff. And if you lurk, That's great too, yet the fact that you took the time out of your day to have this bug rambling on and drawing in the background means more to me than you could possibly imagine. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Alright, with that being said, I hope you all have a good night, a better tomorrow, and a great weekend. That's about it, I got nothing. You all take care now. Laters.